Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the first fully clothed edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party! I'm clothed.
We did it, everybody. Good work.
well,
Even though James is just wearing his Eurothong.
yes.
Hey, on Zoom,
Yeah.
anything goes, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And speaking of thongs, who are you, sir?
I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James GONIS.
And for this episode, we are returning to an old favorite. We love this. It's like family.
Yes.
And it's easy. And we don't have to do so much research.
Right.
Frankly, folks, we couldn't be bothered anymore.
Yeah.
We're done.
No.
We
This
are
is spontaneous, you know.
done.
Like, yeah.
No.
So we decided to throw this one out there again.
But this is fun. It's fun.
This is
fun.
a fan
You're right.
favorite too.
You're right. It is
Yeah.
fun. I think I may have said this before, but it's like many episodes in one episode.
Yeah, it's like a best of.
Yeah, it's a potpourri.
Yes.
What is this potpourri topic?
The topic is Wrath of Topic Free for All.
Wrath of topic free for all.
It's back and it's angry. It's angry like everyone right now.
It's like you're angry about these topics having mold on it. But you guys remember how this is played, right?
Well, yeah, and we should remind you that the last topic free for all, we were introduced to the fact that some of the topics that we had left over from our last topic free for alls were kept in the plastic skull that we used to pick the topics out of.
Right.
Yes.
Pick them out at random.
Mhm.
And Larry left them in his garage. And I guess there was a tsunami or a typhoon or somebody flushed the toilet too hard. And next thing you know, kaboom, toilet water all over.
Let's just say that, I had him in what I thought would be a very safe place. Okay. And look, crap happens. Okay. Stuff,
Yes.
it's like, hey, I didn't expect this to happen. But what I did is I took them out of the goopy skull and kind of wiped off some of the mold and
Yes.
put it out in the sun, and all these things kind of dried together a little bit.
Yes.
And I didn't
Just
look
like
at the
the
topic.
Aztec Indians used to do with their topic free for all.
So the funny thing is, it's been a while since we've done this, so they've been in a very dry place, and
Yes.
and yes, there are still some elements of like black spots, mold,
It's
but I don't think
scary.
it's I don't think it's
Scary,
alive
spooky.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we said, we're doing this one again. What it is, if you didn't get it before, we normally would each reach into the skull and pick out a topic. And there's a
Right.
bunch of random topics, some from recent episodes, some from even farther back.
Yeah.
And we would pick out a topic. Since it's the COVID time, Larry is going to be the lovely and talented assistant.
He's
Yes,
the dungeon
I am.
master of
Yes,
this
I
all.
am.
He will pick the topics. We trust him.
Yes. Implicitly.
Some of these are mail-in topics, but we're
It's
counting
okay.
on the integrity
Counting those two.
of
Yes.
our skull system.
Yes.
Now
Okay.
every time,
It's foolproof.
yes, but every
Okay.
time we've done this, we've always had a wonderful guest
Yes.
join us.
And and this guest really,
Uh,
he's another one of these guys who's like, and I say this sincerely, it's like Monster Party family. He's a guy that he was a plucky youngster when we discovered him. Just trying to make his way up the showbiz chain. And now look at him. He's on top.
He's a mover
He is
and a
very
shaker.
He's a very talented actor, voice artist, director, producer, and he is the co-founder of BIF Bang Pow Toys. He's
Biff Bang
one of
Pow
us,
Toys!
ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it's Jason LENZI.
Jason.
All right.
Lindsay.
Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome
guys.
back, buddy.
Good to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Jason,
Of
you're going to love
course.
this. It's going to be fun because these are like little topics, and
I love it.
It's
You
going to
don't
be
know what's
fun.
going to happen. It could be
It could be
crazy.
anything, Jason.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's like geeky improv, kind of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Really.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I love what we do with the Zoom. We don't really use too much of the video because
Okay.
again, we've tortured you enough with footage of sweaty nerds on YouTube. But one thing that's interesting is, so Jason is doing this from his phone, and it's an iPhone. He doesn't like to brag, but the picture that we're getting from him is just, it's got this purple hue to it.
Pretty cool.
And there's a kind of a weird line that runs through the frame. And it's really like, it's like he's delivering this from the set of Mandy.
Yeah. The sad thing is, I don't know enough about the phone, whether this is a setting
God bless you.
Right.
or the phone is freaking broken. So
Now,
I love it. I say don't change it. Don't fix this.
Granted, you may not know a lot about phones, but you do know a lot about toys.
I do.
Mr.
Look at Larry, just desperately trying to keep this on target. Okay.
Right, but just, I hope it's okay, but it, depending on the light that you're in, it does look kind of cool sometimes, doesn't it? It's like a weird.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great.
And I look better in the dark anyway.
Yeah, you've got the horror version of the gauze effect from the Star Trek original series.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the actual Zoom thing, because I didn't know the clothing was mandatory in this one. You mentioned fully clothed.
You're wearing pasties, so that
Well, and I'm also only waist up, so this is going to have to, just ignore that.
You have followed the rules.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Love hanging out with you.
So what do you say?
We're going to start this. Larry has decreed that we are going to start this.
Yes, so Larry has the skull.
Okay.
And we should let Jason be the first picky.
Oh, geez.
He has our gifts.
Okay.
Our guest. He's also a gift.
I'm
think.
going to pick.
You're gonna pick a topic, and
Yes.
I just roll with it, and then we go from there.
Go. We'll all chime in. It's not just you.
Now, do you want me to hold it up to try to have him read it, or do you want me to
No,
read
just
it?
read it. Just read
Okay.
it.
You can read it.
Okay. Ready? I got
trust
it.
Yes.
Ready.
Okay. The first topic. Ooh, it's got mold on it.
Oh, it's an old one.
It is an old one.
Okay.
Who wrote this? What cocktails go best with the green slime, Night of the Living Dead, and Suspiria?
Ooh.
Okay, that's good.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Look at
That's a great one.
Who's writing is this? Anyone know? What cocktail?
That's mine, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's mine.
You
I
do
remember.
block letters
writing
kind of
that.
like me.
And
Yeah.
since it's Suspiria is one of them, it's got to be you. It's got to be. So what?
So we should do it
cocktails?
in order, right? So
Yes.
green slime is the first one.
What
Yeah.
cocktails go best with green
Green
slime?
slime. What would you do? Well,
God,
this is what
I
I think Sean would do.
Yeah.
Apple martini.
perfect. Yes, absolutely.
We used to get wasted on those apple martinis.
Yeah, that used to be a big thing.
Sean was the person who introduced me to pucker.
That's right.
Me too. He
That's
introduced
right.
me to pucker
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And
Gina,
back in
Gina
the
and I
day-
kind of got into it. Yeah,
Yeah, we'd go over his place.
that's right.
They'd serve us up a bunch of pucker apple martinis.
And then the clothes just came off.
Oh man.
No.
I was swinging my Johnson around,
no,
David
no.
fighting Goliath.
See, now listeners are going to think that we're at Comic-Con, we're all just like all swingers, and that's not the case.
No.
that's not.
Hope springs eternal.
Not all of us. I would throw in some green Jello shots. With that.
Yes.
Uh,
That's good.
That's
I like that.
good.
Just to get the party going. Just to get
Yes.
Jason, I am totally with you now with the Jello shot. It's like green lime Jello and like vodka?
Yeah, and put LSD in mine. So
No.
Yeah, I like that.
was the other one Not Living Dead? Was that the second one?
Yeah.
But let's do green slime first. Okay.
Well,
so
now has James, you haven't weighed
James?
in, right?
green slime.
Well, it's for the slime consistency. I think it should be something frozen and blended.
That's true.
Like, maybe a sour apple margarita.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's not bad. That'd be cool.
I didn't even know
actually.
that was a thing.
that
You
is
just
nice.
invented it. That's
Make it a
cool.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Okay. All right.
I like
So
that.
Night of the Living Dead. What cocktail?
Well, no, wait a minute. Hey, Larry, did you pick one?
I went with Jason. I would do
You
a
just
Jello
yes
shot.
ended him on that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
yes.
also like to say that if you took some kale and mixed that up in a blender with a little vodka, that's the green slime right there.
I know, but
Yeah.
it sounds
tastes good,
disgusting.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would, but it's good
Kale?
for you.
No.
Yeah, but look, it's the green slime. You have to have fun. It has to be something that tastes good. It doesn't have to be good
I
for
thought
you.
it had to kill you.
No. I'm totally with Sean.
All right. Okay.
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
cocktail.
Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
All right, Jason.
I'm gonna say Night of the Living Dead. I don't know why, but I instantly go to like not the top shelf booze, not the bottom shelf booze,
Right.
but cold turkey or whatever you call it. The stuff that's like was in your grandpa's cabinet. Stuff they don't make anymore. Just like whatever was in the cabinet, you take and start mixing shit up because it's
Phil's
just
General Store vodka.
yes.
Yeah.
That-
Okay.
Yeah, the stuff that Otis used to drink on the Andy Griffith show.
Right.
Exactly. Whatever he was drinking. But just whatever had just a basic label and was the kind of stuff that would have, been in a magazine 50 years ago that was pretty swanky. But now
But you need like a little stir with a skull on it or something, like that. Maybe like a little dry ice even.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
On.
What I would do is I would try to find some sort of dead it's piggybacking on Jason's idea, but I would like to get a dead brand of something that really hit the national zeitgeist. So it'd be something like Zima.
That?
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Or something like Tab and Bourbon.
Tab and bourbon.
Oh my gosh.
Living Dead, I think like, whatever's in the house, like whatever was on sale and whatever's in the house
would be served at your viewing party.
And it would the hors d'oeuvres would not be fancy. The hors d'oeuvres would be,
it's potluck. I mean, you run into this house for shelter, and it's a
you're grabbing whatever's available.
Whatever's in the cabinet. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
cool. I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Hey,
So
Matt,
vodka and beets.
to follow along with what Matt was saying, Matt, you're talking about using some kind of drink that is no longer exists. This is from the late 80s, a bottle of unsealed Jolt Cola.
I remember Jolt.
I like it.
Guys, I am holding, and maybe I'll take a picture, Jolt Cola with all the sugar and twice the caffeine. In college,
Wow.
this is what I drank all the time. Imagine if
That
I put
explains
this
a
in the... Okay, yes, it does, Sean. But
You added alcohol to that, so it was like your own version of Four Loko.
I don't know what that is, but let's just say, to go along with your thing, if I put this in the fridge for about a week, because I know Night of the Living Dead is coming on, and then I get a glass of ice and put in some, like what Sean was saying, some dry ice, and then pour in a little vodka with this old Jolt Cola. What do you think?
Good times.
That works.
Yum.
Okay, look, if that's not appealing, then what I would get, because if I'm watching Night of the Living Dead, I want something red. And so I would have Mike's Harder Blood Orange drink, was actually what I
plant these topics because you got way too many
How do you have all
pots
this
ready to go.
I didn't. I'm just saying that what I typically drink when we're doing a show is this, because it's seasonal, I think. It only comes around in the fall.
Right.
So I get a bunch of them because I love the blood orange. It makes me blood, and it's blood orange. And so I go, I love it. I love it so much. And when I do that, that makes me think I'm a zombie. So that's what I would probably drink when I'm watching.
How many jolts have you had tonight? That's what I want to know.
See, I have two, and I'm actually want to save them for a special occasion. Maybe like based on the last show when James and I are near retirement, and I go, James, let's open these Jolt Colas or something, and watch some Star Trek. Yeah. So
There we go.
All right. Okay. All right, James.
No, I mean, like as I said before, it's whatever's in the cabinet. You just
Whatever's in the cabinet. Okay.
It's potluck.
Yeah, that's good.
And you'll make that into a cocktail. So it's a can of chili, some lard.
Some food coloring.
And hopefully something that'll not only keep you awake, but get you inebriated.
I like it. And Sean?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great idea. And definitely do the dry ice and the little skull stir. But yeah, grab stuff around the house. That's a good idea.
Sean,
Okay.
I love that idea. Dry ice. Love it.
Suspiria.
Suspiria. Last
Well,
one.
Suspiria, I think you're talking about something red, Larry. I think you have to have a really good Merlot wine. Just something classy and red. Classy and red, man. Just splash it all over the wall and your clothes. I mean, it's red. It's Suspiria, man. It's ballet dancers and witches. Go with some wine.
Fine wine. Okay.
Yeah.
An Italian wine.
Yes.
An Italian red wine.
Yes.
See, I would not go the wine way at all.
Okay.
No, I would do a Bloody Mary.
Okay.
And I would put some sort of light up thing in the middle of it. So inside the Bloody Mary, it would glow.
That's cool.
One of those glowing.
When I think of Suspiria, I think of glowing red, like bright glowing red.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those glowing ice cubes.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Exactly.
cool. I like that.
Maybe
too,
a couple
yeah.
of them.
It's a little too sexual for me, the Bloody Mary, and I don't know. I like the red wine.
You've been cooped up too long.
How does your mind work? Like, what do you?
I'm just saying your
Wait. Bloody Mary and sex. How does that work? How did you make those connections, Larry?
Is that what you drink? Is that your thing? Is that your little?
I don't get that. That's completely random. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Once a year, you put a roofie.
We'll save
Bloody
that.
Mary.
We'll save that for another show. I'm just saying.
I just should have been ordering Bloody Marys. I would have had more sex.
Yeah, like what?
Jason,
Bloody Mary is usually the thing that you drink after.
Yeah, the morning you're hangover.
Like when you have a hangover.
When you're having. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the celery. It's
Celery is
What
pretty
do you
sexy.
do with celery?
You gotta admit. Yeah.
It's pretty phallic.
Wow. I got to look up celery in the Kama Sutra.
Yeah. Like what's going on?
Jason, what about you?
I was at first I thought sort of blood, actually, and then I thought something Italian. But then I started to think about like great trippy sort of 60s and 70s cocktails. Pimm's is very big in Europe and stuff. And so some kind of cocktail that's got a punch. What about absinthe? Okay. Very is a trip. It's very strange.
True.
I think you need a drink that's kind of evocative that way. That's a very kind of an unusual drink, but also that might get pretty.
Yeah, a little mysterious.
Yeah. Yes.
I love absinthe. I think it's great. It's one of my favorite drinks. And it's something that has, as you were saying, Jason, almost a hallucinatory quality to it. There's no real hallucinogen in it, but
it's potent.
It's potent. It has a different effect than most liquors and or liqueurs.
Can I ask you?
That's one that when I went to New Orleans, that's what I drank the entire time. Remember that, Sean? Like,
oh my gosh, so fun. Well, listen, true story. For Halloween, I had some absinthe and a couple edibles. Not a good idea.
Oh,
really?
Oh.
Yes. I mean, it was good and bad. I'll just say that.
What was that?
I'll leave it at that.
I've seen Sean on edibles, and he's a happy boy.
Thanks, Mr. Pusher.
If you drink too much absinthe, you get absinthe-minded.
That's true. That's true.
Didn't Van Gogh drink a lot of absinthe, and that's part of why he went a little wacko, I think?
Was it absinthe?
I believe so. I thought it was.
I agree. I love absinthe.
I like it.
All right.
I've never tried it, and I know my brother gave us a bottle to share when we were all like, yeah. It's supposed to, unless you drank it, it was supposed to be for all of us when we were together. Maybe after this whole COVID thing. Do you remember that? It was something that we were supposed to share together.
It's still here. Yeah. No,
I've never had it. And remember, I asked you, I said, doesn't it mess you up? You go, oh, Larry, don't worry about it. We'll be in a safe place or something. And remember that? You don't remember that, do you?
Safe place.
Oops.
All right.
I love dropping into your guys' world because we're talking about drinking absinthe, and it's become this scene of like, hey, man, just be cool. I've been where he's at. It's all right. He's going to be fine. You're here together. You're centered. You're in a safe place. And suddenly it's like Peter Fonda in The Trip. Then all hell breaks loose. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we're wicked.
Well, that was fun. How about we move on to another topic?
Is it over? Oh,
no. Now we move on to another topic.
No, I'm kidding.
So who's next?
I'll take it.
Uh-oh. I think this is one of Jason's.
Uh-oh.
It is. It's a new one. What movie/show deserves a toy line that has never had one?
Oh,
that's easy.
Good question.
That's easy.
No, but that's never had one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Matt, go for it.
We all kind of agree on this one, right?
I don't know.
Well, there's a few. In fact, I think
I don't know.
Okay, well, let me throw out the one that I thought that Sean was thinking of. Logan's Run.
Yes. In fact,
Oh.
I'm flashing back, but I think I think it was one of the last times we had Jason on. We were talking about Biff Bang Pow. I think one of us, maybe me, suggested, "Hey, what about Logan's Run?" For a toy line.
Somebody almost did one, right? They almost did one.
Yeah,
Mego, right?
Yeah, but the whole thing was the only reason why they had the license was they wanted the Farrah Fawcett thing, and they blew off the whole Logan's Run. They just wanted to make a Farrah Fawcett figure, if you guys recall. Yeah. Now, so Jason, what about that, Mr. Biff Bang Pow? I mean, Logan's Run, we'd buy sets. What do you think?
We're gonna start doing it Monday for you.
Nice
one, Sean.
It's probably. I think I said this when we were talking about it on the show that time. It's probably something that's been thought of. Like sometimes I think of certain titles, and I think if it hasn't been done, a lot of the time there's probably a reason it hasn't been done. Blade Runner is a great example. Back to the Future. Back to the Future is finally happening.
Yeah.
Right? NECA's doing 7-inch figures and little reaction. Someone's doing reaction or whatever. But when we tried getting it years ago, they had no likeness rights for Christopher Lloyd or Michael J. Fox.
Right.
The studio at that point had even tried to donate to the Michael J. Fox, the Parkinson's research, and still didn't want to do it. So some kind of deal got made where finally his likeness is able to be sculpted into figures. So the Logan's Run thing, I just always think it's a rights issue or something. I don't know, because I can't believe no one's done that. It's very beloved and it's kitschy enough. And if you're doing Cheech and Chong action figures, you should do Logan's Run, at least the movie, at the very least the movie. So I don't know, but I would bet people have explored it, have tried to do it.
If you did it, what I would love is the play sets. Because even if you made them reaction size, which I'm not normally a fan of, but if you did reaction size and you did them with play sets and you did carousel, right? And you had like an easy bake oven thing on the top that would like zap the figure when it got to the top.
Sure.
And then of course, Love Shop.
My favorite part of the movie.
And you get like a little thing that you can put in and create a little gas, that gets you all sexed up. And maybe include a couple celery stalks. I don't know.
And people have glass of Bloody Mary.
That question, the four of you, the answer across the board is Logan's Run.
Well, I'm thinking James, maybe not, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But as I've said before, I'd love to see a Willy Wonka toy line. Mego is coming out now with the Willy Wonka figure. Finally,
Mego has announced it. The new Mego is coming out with a Willy Wonka 8-inch action figure.
Should be out in a couple of months. And there's a new version of Candyland, or it might have been out for a little while. But there's a Willy Wonka Candyland game.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
James, one question. Now you said they're coming out with just the Willy Wonka?
Well, yeah. I mean, I want a whole line, and that might be in the cards.
Yeah, who knows? We have to ask Dr. Mego.
See how the first one goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I want all the kids.
Yeah.
I'd like to have the kids. I'll bet you what they'll do though is they'll start with Wonka, and then they might follow up with maybe whatever. What's the kid's name again?
Charlie.
Charlie.
What's the kid?
What's his face in the chocolate factory?
Jeez, have a Bloody Mary, man. You're out of it.
Have some more absinthe.
Oh God!
So we got Willy Wonka the movie, the original movie, and Logan's Run. Those are the answers then.
Well, those are two.
Well, Blade Runner for sure.
Those are
Another
two.
one? Anyone?
No.
Yes,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's like you said, Blade Runner. Where is the Pris figure? Where is the all of those characters? We need that.
Yes.
Again, it's probably. I know that NECA wanted to do it because they had the new movie and they couldn't secure the rights to that original movie. They couldn't get it.
Gosh, what is going on with them?
Yeah,
just
what's wrong with the world?
Convoluted. Yeah.
Yeah. What else could go wrong?
There's some great answers, right? So it wasn't such a bad question. It wasn't too intellectual, right?
Well, wait a minute.
No, may I make my toy
I
suggestions?
thought you said Charlie Chaplin and the chocolate people.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Now,
Charlie Chaplin in the Chocolate Factory. Come on.
Now, I think the main character of this particular film, there's been a figure of her. But like James said, I kind of would like a set, and I would love to have the Mego size. I'm thinking of Star Crash. I want to have a Stella Star, and I want to have the robot guy and her buddy. And then what's the evil guy? The evil guy, Sid Haig. And the Christopher Plummer, the King of Space. What is it, Sean? Christopher Plummer's
Duke of Outer Space? I don't know.
Yeah, the Duke of Outer Space, where it says, we must do Star Crash. I mean, I'd love to have those sets of figures.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you, Larry. I really would like a Marjo Gortner figure.
We could do a whole episode on Marjo. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I want to have. I think they should put out the set where it's Marjo. You can get 3 different costumes. You can get him as Star Crash. You can get him as Marjo in the documentary film Marjo. And then you could have him in Earthquake where he has his afro wig.
That's true. And by the way, guys, Sid Haig is not in Star Crash.
Oh, it's not
John
Sid
Saxon.
Haig.
Is it John Saxon?
Star Crash? How much absinthe have you had? Joe Spinell. You guys said Sid Haig.
Oh, I'm so
Maniac.
I'm
Joe
so
Spinell.
sorry. Sean, you are absolutely.
Cut it out.
Look, he's right.
Out.
No, I don't mind being wrong. That's okay.
No, you cut it out. That's fine. Yeah, say it again.
Joe Spinell. Okay.
What is wrong with you people?
No, guys, come on! I need you to tell me.
I
need you to tell me.
I think it's pretty funny the way it is.
It is funny. Leave it on.
No, actually, no, wait.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. You're right. We have to change it because Larry will keep this now for the rest of his life. That I said that I corrected him that it was Joe Spinell instead of. He'll never let me down.
No.
So let's go over.
Why
Never let me forget it that I corrected him on the podcast.
But Sean, I want you to correct me. I want to give correct information. Okay. What is it with you?
This is good. This is good radio.
No. See, no.
But you both said you go. Actually, it was Matt. I think you said Sid Haig, and Larry goes, yeah, right.
And Sid Haig, and I agreed.
That's what it was.
And Sean, look, and I'm sorry, it's just
I got caught up in the moment, Sean.
He kind of looks like Sid Haig. You're absolutely right. It's Joe Spinell.
They are
and
similar.
I apologize. You're absolutely right. And
this is what happened. We were getting Sid Haig confused with his character on Jason of Star Command.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So we all make mistakes.
It's not a stretch.
Yeah.
Hey, have I said that, Sean? Have I sold you? I am perfect. I know everything. Have I said that to you?
Yes.
Have I said no?
Look, I think we all remember Sid Haig and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that was a classic. That's classic.
Are we talking about Star Crash?
Now look,
this is perfect.
Now look, there is a beautiful figure of just Stella Star.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on now. Because it's a beautifully made figure. But
no, you're right.
Would you say, Larry?
I don't own it.
But you've seen it. You've seen
from
pictures.
A distance. Yeah, I haven't seen it close up, and I guess it's supposed to be anatomically correct, but I've never.
Yes, it is.
Listen,
it is.
Larry, you have a few Bloody Marys. You're going to be ripping that top off.
Oh my God!
I know where you're going. I know where you're going, though, Larry. No, Matt. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, the face does not look anything
like Caroline Monroe.
No.
You're right. I wonder though. Going back to that, I wonder if they couldn't get the likeness, and so they had just to make a generic, pretty face.
Yeah, because I have an alien Kane figure that they did for Hot Toys. Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And the face that's supposed to be John Hurt looks nothing like him.
Really?
And so I don't even use that. You get a separate head. You get like his head, and then you get the head that has the face hugger on it. And
right. Well, then luckily you can use that.
It's in the astronaut suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't look anything like him. And I'm sure that John Hurt went, no.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Us, on the other hand, we'd agree to anything.
Oh, are you kidding? If that was me, I would say
I'd be on beach balls.
I would. Matt, I would.
Celery bags.
I would actually pay them to put my likeness on the toy.
Right. Yeah.
Jason, have you had that? Have you had actors go, "Oh, let me pay you so you can make a toy of me"?
I'm just wondering if I get to say what toy line I'd like from that hasn't been produced from a.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Of course.
Yes, Jason, please.
10-Speed and Brown Shoe. It was a show.
I remember that.
Short-lived series with
Jeff Goldblum and Ben Vereen.
I wanted toys as a kid, never got them, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, I'll say this though. Rockford Files. I always wanted like an 8-inch Mego Jim Rockford and his car. From even to like some other company today, the last 20 years, 30 years, whatever. Somebody, I can't believe with all the Mego stuff that's been made and all the people that have made customs, try to find that's the era, that would have come out at that time. They made, figures for the Waltons. It wasn't exactly an action show. So Rockford was car chases and punched people and etc.
Yeah.
I can't believe no one has ever made a Jim Rockford figure because it's so 70s. It's so the era and the car, like to have a full-size car. And then,
and along those same lines, Jason, I always thought Columbo figure.
Yeah.
With a little cigar and dog. It's like, why? Where's that?
And then I need a full set of every single guest star. Like I need
Robert Culp.
3 separate Robert Culps.
Yeah, 3 Patrick McGoowans. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Barnaby Jones, Cannon, just a whole box set of all of them.
Where's the Vanacek figure?
Vanacek. It should be like the Quinn Martin box set of figures, basically.
Yeah.
Longstreet.
Yes.
All right.
Where's the Del Vecchio figure?
All right.
But I did. I have requested from Brian Heiler for a long time now, because he does custom stuff. I want a custom set of Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling from The Nice Guys, which takes place in 1977. And if somebody could do like custom, I kind of thought someone would do like promotional type 8-inch figures or something, because it takes place in that era.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect. It's a detective and a guy who breaks people's legs, and they solve mysteries and shit. That's what I'd like to have.
Is that a good movie?
Oh it's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
It's literally become one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah. It's genius. It's brilliant.
Huh. I gotta see that.
There was one that we've talked about before when Jason was last on the show. I'm wondering if things have changed. Having a great Rod Serling figure. I mean, either a 12-inch or an 8-inch. What do you think, man?
Not that I'm aware. I don't think she's going to approve doing the likeness. She just doesn't. She doesn't want to have his likeness out there on products. I don't think. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, someone did do a head sculpt. There is a head.
There's a custom 8-inch that goes with the ones we did. But she passed away. Carol passed away a while ago, and I think daughter is sort of in charge. But she didn't seem to want to do it. So I don't think it'll ever happen.
I don't know. I think time changed.
Let's move on.
Moving on. Okay, shaking the skull.
Is this you now, Larry?
Sure. This is a moldy one. Best and worst James Bond. Wow.
Ooh.
There we go. Everybody's on board for this one.
This is actually kind of timely.
Yeah.
Can I answer first quickly, and then I'll step back?
Sure. Best and worst James Bond.
Well,
he heard it.
I want to start by saying I'm a James Bond freak, and I used to collect a ton of stuff. So I have opinions on every single one of the movies. Do you mean best film?
It doesn't say that. It just says best/worst James Bond.
James Bond.
Bond.
I want to let you guys go. You want me to go first? Or you want me to wait? Okay.
Go.
All right.
How many shots do you want at this thing, Jason? God damn it. Go.
Right, the best James Bond is Sean Connery. Everyone knows that. That is a fact. That is not disputable. The second best James Bond is Timothy Dalton.
Really?
Because Dalton was the closest to the books that the character ever got, including Daniel Craig. And what Dalton did when he showed up was, people forget we had, 7-8 years or whatever of like the Aqua Velva, Roger Moore Bond, which I love. I mean, we all love Roger Moore. We love those movies, but it couldn't be further from what the character originally was.
Mm-hmm.
So when Dalton showed up, and it's convoluted, how he got there, and he had been courted several times before. I think The Living Daylights is the best Bond film since the 60s, easily.
Really?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Really?
And
although Spy Who Loved Me was pretty good.
Spy Who Loved Me is brilliant. It's fantastic. I mean, it's basically a remake of Thunderball, but it's fantastic. But License to Kill is great too. But as years went on, more people, I think, appreciated License to Kill because it's so dark and gritty. And I love it too. They're two wonderful entries in the series. But Living Daylights to me is just about perfection. That's old school Bond and everything. And it's interesting because for the longest time, again, it's one of those things in my life that I've had to defend and had to, you mention his name and people go, oh, you got to be kidding me. It's the worst. Well, 20 some years, whatever it's been, it seems like the world's kind of caught up with just how good he was in that role. And I think there was like a London Observer paper like a year ago, or maybe less, took a poll of its readers and said, who's the best Bond? And Dalton came in second, which shocked the internet. Oh my God. So like maybe it took that long for him to sort of, and even Lazenby, Lazenby was totally written off because of the one effort and he wasn't an actor and everything. But he's wonderful in it. He's terrific in it.
Okay.
I agree. I think Lazenby is good.
Look, okay.
He's great.
Look, the question is best and worst James Bond, not put them in.
Okay, so then I'm going to say.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on now. Hold on. Let's not lose our heads. Timothy Dalton. I agree. I love Timothy Dalton. I think Timothy Dalton is such a great actor, and I felt he was a better Bond than even those movies were. But
I would agree. I would agree with that.
But Lazenby in that film? Come on. Talk about wooden from beginning to end. And that's the opposite. To me, that's the other way around. That's a good Bond movie with a not so great actor. I still enjoy it. I don't find him egregious or anything like that. I don't think he's horrible, but there's certainly nothing compelling about Lazenby.
But to what you said, horrible was the word that was always used to describe him. It was always like an afterthought. And it took years.
He's not horrible.
It took years for people to realize how good that film is, because if Connery had done that, it might have gone down as the best James Bond film.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But Lazenby doesn't ruin it. So I'm going to say worst, Pierce Brosnan.
Oh.
But they're all good. But the Brosnans are just about unwatchable to me.
If you have to rate them, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jason.
I kind of do agree with you. The Brosnan films are
Charles Bronson was never.
Charles Bronson was not a very good James Bond.
He's the worst James Bond.
No, but I do agree. Like,
the name's Bond.
I think Pierce Brosnan's fine as Bond, but those films they're not terrible, but they don't really stick out.
In his defense, I'm not sure he was really allowed to. There's the first 30, 40 minutes of Die Another Day was where I finally looked at him and thought, okay, that seems more like Bond. And did you ever see a film called The Tailor of Panama? Even a movie called The Matador with him and Greg Kinnear. But The Tailor of Panama, he's like a CIA agent that's kind of rogue, and he's just a shit of a human being. But he's more Bond in The Tailor of Panama than I think he was allowed to be in the movies he did. Because right afterwards, you got Daniel Craig. So Daniel Craig was like an antidote to what's the bit in Die Another Day with the invisible car and everything. Daniel Craig brought it back, just like Dalton brought it back after Octopussy and View to a Kill. It had to get back down to earth, just like after Moonraker was For Your Eyes Only, et cetera, et cetera. So Brosnan is a wonderful actor. He's wonderful. As Bond, I just felt he was like, Roger Moore's nephew, kind of.
See, with Daniel Craig, I like that first one. And I think he's
Casino Royale, yeah.
He's a really good actor, and I really don't fault him. I feel like, once again, he got put in bad movies and really bad scripts. And then what you have is them changing this character into something that's unrecognizable. And I understand the rough and tumble nature, but I also want the cool wit and sophistication part in there as well.
Yeah, it's interesting
because when we go back to Dalton, I felt like he was able to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they went. I think with the first couple of Craigs, it became. Now they're competing with the Bourne films. By the time,
right.
So my thing was always, well, first off, I can't tell the Bourne films apart. They're fine films, but it's like one big 3-part story. There's no story.
Right.
The Craig ones, I have a thing about if someone's running forever on screen and they're never out of breath, they better be like a monster or a robot or something, because it takes me out of it, kind of.
He's in amazing shape. He makes you and I look like we're like butter.
That is something with more modern day recent action films. I agree. I always felt that is that nowadays regular people are like superhuman, and I don't know when that trend started, but it really is annoying. I would love to go back to like a hero getting the shit beat out of him. Yeah, you're right though. I think they've gone too far sometimes with the action stuff.
To what Matt was saying, they were trying to loosen it up. Now they've done Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. They said he's got to loosen up a bit. So Skyfall was a bit of that. Planning to get to Spectre, people really seem to hate Spectre, and I don't know why. Because I think the first half of Spectre was exactly that. They were trying to say we can still wink at the camera, we can still have some in jokes, and this can be fun as well as being dark and gritty and all that stuff. And then people just seemed to hate it. But I thought they were trying to do that. They were trying to find the middle ground again, it seemed like.
I kind of agree with you, because I thought Skyfall, they were almost trying to do a little bit of nostalgic best of the whole history of Bond. And I did like Spectre better than, I actually like Spectre better than Skyfall, and certainly better than Quantum of Solace. Oh. But I liked him as Bond, but I don't know how much longer they can do it with him,
Yeah.
Hands down, my favorite Bond is David Niven.
Oh my God.
He is pretty funny in the role.
Well, he came closer to Ian Fleming's vision of Bond.
Yeah, what about Jimmy Bond?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen in Casino, the original Casino Royale.
What about Barry Nelson in the TV Casino Royale?
That's right. That's right.
My wife and I were just talking about this. Who was the first Bond? We heard this question and we couldn't remember whether the question was who was the first James Bond to be on anything or the first movie James Bond. Because I think it was when Connery died, they were saying, oh, who's the first James Bond? Well, no, there was a TV one, but I guess first movie one, there was no other movie James Bond.
No, but I could be wrong about this. You have to fact check me. There might have been a radio play prior to that TV Casino Royale, where there was an actor that played him on the radio.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. It's one of those trick questions where everyone eventually thinks it's Barry Nelson, but it's really, Johnny Weissmuller from the radio, wherever the hell it was. But
Ben Turpin.
It's Charlie Chaplin.
Wasn't Fleming's thing that he thought of Bond looking like Hoagie Carmichael? Is that what what it was?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is strange, isn't it? To think about that.
Why not get Hoagie Carmichael then? We know he can act. We saw him on the Flintstones.
I'm not sure he was well at the time.
That would have just added an element of reality to the movie.
Right. He did go after
through a lot.
Didn't he go after
a few songs about it? Here you go.
Look, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Okay.
All right,
now I know how many of you feel. Look, Sean Connery is terrific. He's great, but for me,
I knew it.
My best or my favorite James Bond is Daniel Craig, and because
I did know it.
Because when I think of, I know James and I have gotten in arguments about this, heated discussion.
Yeah, you got like in fist fights over it.
Yes, we did. Well, no, not a fist. It's more like a slap, but
knife fight.
The thing is, when I think of the spy world, it is gritty, it is tough, it is physical and nasty and brutal. And Sean Connery, I think, did have that. I think Daniel Craig has it more as like a worst. And it's really not fair to say worst, but I guess my least favorite, actually Pierce Brosnan, because to me, look, he has the sophistication, but he didn't seem meaty enough to me, like or raw, like Daniel Craig. And look, Matt, I'm going to agree with you. He's a great actor, and I think he's better than some of the movies. But anytime he's on the screen, I mean, he's just electrifying. I love to watch him. So that was
he's a really good actor. And if you haven't seen the movie Layer Cake, great movie. He's great. I got nothing to say about his talents.
Yeah, great movie.
But the opinion I really want to know is Mr. GONIS. Mr. GONIS, what is your best and worst?
Take us out.
Well, best would be Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Worst would be Daniel Craig.
All right.
Even more so than George Lazenby? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Because what Connery did when he created that role on film was to introduce this combination of, he's tough, he's lethal, but he's also charismatic. And there's something about the icon that he created that as you're watching it makes you sort of project yourself into the character because you kind of want to be him. I never for a moment ever wanted to be Daniel Craig.
That's true.
To me, he's just...
No, that's a very good point.
That's true. Yeah, I see what you mean.
The last person you want to be is Daniel Craig.
He doesn't seem like he's really happy or enjoying his job, really.
No, I would love to be Daniel Craig.
You would not. You liar.
There's
tortured
tortured
physically and mentally.
No.
Yeah.
Don't look like that.
The supervillain.
You can't watch a movie that doesn't have a happy ending.
All the supervillain has to do, Larry, is open one of your toy packages and you'd crumble.
That would be great. Yeah, you just instead of Bond,
it's over.
The table with the laser. It's one of your figures.
No, Mr. Strothe, I expect you to cry.
Yeah.
No, and for that reason, I also I got to say I do like Pierce Brosnan a lot. I just think that he never got the Spy Who Loved Me perfect. Like Roger Moore at least had The Spy Who Loved Me. You can say what you want about his other films. Spy Who Loved Me gets a pass because it
For Your Eyes Only, I think, is great too.
Yes, I agree.
Those movies are almost like satirical. They're
but they're great. But they're fun satirical.
Yeah, and that's fine because they're entertaining.
But
I love Let Die.
You made a great point about Daniel Craig and wanting to be Daniel Craig, whatever. What's interesting about Daniel Craig, and I hope he's not listening.
He'll kick your ass.
He's right here.
Daniel Craig.
He's not clothed.
When you really look at Daniel Craig's face, he's an interesting looking guy. You don't see him and think that is a sexy guy. That is really, you see Pierce Brosnan or Roger Moore, and they're beautiful specimens kind of thing. Bond showed a ruggedness to his face. He's like Dalton looked like he was either gonna kill someone or maybe go to dinner with a beautiful woman or something. He had an edge to his face. He wasn't traditionally handsome. And I think Connery had that. And, Dalton and Craig has it too, where it's like, he should be kind of a thug, I think. He should be good looking, but it's more the personality, whatever. So part of it is that by the time you get to Roger Moore, it's become, and I love Roger Moore, but the character has become the suave, most handsome, sophisticated devil in the world. When really he's a killer. He's good.
Not a nice guy.
You know what though? But Jason, it's interesting you said that and I agree with you. I think Roger is best when he's not in the Connery world, because there are a couple times I think it was Man with the Golden Gun where they try to portray more as tougher. He's slapping Maud Adams around. I thought, wait a minute, that doesn't quite like that would work fine if it was Connery or even any other Bond, but I don't want to see Roger Moore doing that.
It's like Vincent Price when he's driving stakes in Vampire's Heart.
Yeah, when he's an action hero. Yeah,
a little jazz hands.
Right.
There is. Have a great bit though. There's two other bits of Roger Moore, sort of in cold blood kind of thing, and one of them is For Your Eyes Only, where he kicks the car over.
Exactly. That worked.
According to John Glenn, the director, Moore had to be convinced to give the kick because he thought it was too malicious. But there's the rooftop fight in Spy Who Loved Me, where the guy grabs his tie. Roger Moore says, "Where's Feckish?" And he's like, "Where's Pyramids?" And he slaps the tie out of his hand, and he straightens his tie. There's like none more Bond scene.
No, that's great.
No, you're right. But that because it has a little bit of wit and swat. It's not quite. I mean, it's brutal, but it's brutal to a bad guy. Whereas when he was like hitting Maud Adams, it was like, no, don't do that.
The Roger Moore Bond almost didn't want to get his suit dirty.
Yes.
Well, and I think that's also something that can be said for Timothy Dalton and even George Lazenby, is that I think we have a fonder memory of them because they didn't overstay their welcome, which Roger Moore did painfully, and for me, Daniel Craig is doing painfully.
Yeah. Well,
I think this new one is his last one. Just to let you know.
Yeah. All right.
Hasn't he been saying that for the last 3 though?
No. This is it, and I'm sure we'll discuss this more on our James Bond show, which will come. Can I
just say this though?
Sure.
There is only one Matt Helm.
True. And there's only one Derek Flint, I would say too.
Yeah.
Yes.
They wouldn't dare remake Derek Flint.
No.
And where are those figures?
Yeah, where's a Matt Helm figure?
I'd kill for a Derek Flint figure.
Yeah.
Oh, I want the Matt Helm figure with the station wagon with the bar in it.
Yep.
Oh, I see. We're going back to another topic. So, what do you say we shake up another one?
Yeah, do it. Shake it up, man.
James,
shake it up.
Wanna do
James,
this?
it's your turn.
Sure.
Ooh, this is a moldy one. Oh my god! Which horror or sci-fi film most resembles your worst nightmare, and why?
Ooh.
Do you know who
Good
wrote
one.
this one?
That's a good. Oh, I think that's. No, I don't. That's not me. I think that. Who is
Which
that?
horror or sci-fi film most resembles your worst nightmare, and why?
Well, I'm going to go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, both the original and the remake, either or.
Oh,
Because to me, I mean, it's like suddenly you're all alone in this society. You're completely alienated. You don't know who to trust. You don't recognize your own, neighbor, your own family member. And to me, like, that's not only is that my worst nightmare, but that's like how I walk around every day anyway. I mean, that's without aliens. And now it's just like, oh shit, now we really have a reason to worry. I mean, other than those just being brilliant films, it just sort of cuts to the core of paranoia and identity, and those come close to the bone for me. Yeah,
That's the part that really gets me, is that loss of identity. It's almost like dealing with Alzheimer's. You got to stay on top of it, and if you don't, the next thing you know, you're going to wake up and you're just going to be part of this other thing. You're going to no longer be anything like the person you were.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's a good choice.
That's a great choice. I actually think it even further in terms of the crux, the moral, the gist of it is, don't fall asleep. Don't let your guard down.
Yeah.
The minute you let your guard down, someone you think or like you keep your wall up and go, no, this isn't appropriate. This is wrong. No, we can't let that happen. And the next thing you know, you ran into a friend 6 months later and you're like, well, how could you possibly think this way? I thought I knew you, whatever.
Right.
But the key being, don't fall asleep, because you can't stay up forever. Like you're going, it's basically saying they're going to get us all,
Right.
we're all eventually freaking sell out, whatever. That's a great answer to that question. That's great.
Yeah,
Nice one,
because
James.
it's just chilling. I would say for me, one would be, because could be potentially in the real world. It could potentially be real horror. And that would be if I was one of those people in the van who happens upon the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family. Because think about that. I mean, if you're stuck in the middle of fucking nowhere in Texas and you can't get out, and these people are chasing you, like, that's real and that's terrifying. That's not aliens or supernatural or anything like that. It's like, these are real fucking people and they don't give a fuck. You're just meat to them, and they're gonna get you.
You're toast, Sean.
I would rather be the first guy who dies. Because the first guy just gets whacked in the head, like kind of doesn't see it coming.
Yeah, what you don't want to be is the one stuck at the family dinner.
No.
That's the worst fucking most terrifying thing in the universe.
Yes, because even though she survives, her life's fucking over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if Matt's the first one killed, can I volunteer to be at the dinner?
So you want your fingers sucked, the blood out? You want your fingers to go into the grandpa? Is that?
I don't know
what you're saying?
how delicious Matt is.
You know what? I am corn fed.
Pasture raised.
No, I would be a delicious piece of meat. Seriously. I don't want to brag, but like,
would be lucky.
I am fucking delectable.
Yes.
You cook me just right. And what I would like, I think you got to really get that skin so it's nice and crispy.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the Michelin rating on Matt as a meal is 5-star across the board. Everywhere.
And much like I am in my living life, there's nothing good about me.
Well, what's
nothing healthy.
Right.
What's interesting about this, though, is all of it, you're all talking about, being killed and eaten. It's like, for me, as far as a film that resembles my worst nightmare, imagine if you've spent years making this amazing collection, years and years and years, and you have this beautiful collection, and all of a sudden your partner or buddy or friend comes in and sets everything on fire. Oh. I'm talking about the House of Wax. And no, I don't have life-size figures of wax. However, when that sequence in the Vincent Price film, when his partner knocks him out and he puts gasoline over all these beautiful pieces of art, things that he spent years on.
It's like it's his world.
It's his world. And so to me, when I see, like, if I have my whole collection, some bastard coming in and throwing gasoline over and lighting it on fire, and I think to myself, my God, the years I've spent amassing this amazing collection,
all gone in the wink of an eye.
Well, or would you run and grab one piece or a couple pieces and try and put it out?
Right. Well, you would try that, and then you end up like Vincent Price, like the scarred guy running around.
Because then I'd make a wax face myself.
Yeah. Of course.
I think you misunderstood the question here. Because so you're the guy who was just earlier saying that you'd want to be Daniel Craig's James Bond. Yeah. His ass kicked and tortured and fucked up all over the place. Your worst nightmare is to have your wax figures burnt.
Yes.
No, that's Larry.
If you're referring to the scene where he gets his balls whacked, he gets out of that. And so there's a little damage. I'm thinking
so it's a little damage.
Yes, but it's like when those toys are burned, they're gone forever. You'll still have your balls.
No, they're not after they've been whacked 50 times. Look,
I understood the question.
If someone says, "Look, I'm going to smack your balls with a baseball bat, or I can burn your house down," I'm like, "Here are the matches. Here you go. You know what really will catch fire quickly?
I'd say start smacking. That's what I would say.
Yeah. This is all bullshit, because the minute that thing hit the first nut, you'd be like, it would be a whole nother story.
Okay. This is great.
Is it the original House of Wax you're talking about?
I'm talking about I said the Vincent Price version.
Yeah.
I was talking about
Mysteries in the Wax Museum.
I was thinking about your balls. I'm sorry. I lost track of which.
All right. That's great. Okay. So we've all shared.
No, we haven't. I haven't shared.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought, okay, please.
Okay. It's hard for me to pick one movie, but where this happens in any movie is my worst nightmare. If we're talking my real worst nightmare, and that's any movie, let's just say, for example, Vault of Horror.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are buried alive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't want to be buried alive.
That was my answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be horrifying.
Where you're buried alive, where I'm there, I know I can't get out, and I can write, I think, even a better scene than most of the versions that I've seen. Because if you're in a coffin, it's made of wood, and maybe there's something you can do, and I've seen all different versions of, someone is able to break the wood, but like, for me, if I was to write my own scene, it would be I'm in a safe. I'm in a safe, and it's cramped. I have nowhere to move, and they're pumping in oxygen. So I'm not gonna be able to have the easy way out where I succumb.
You're just gonna slowly go mad.
I'm just gonna be in there going insane.
That would be terrifying.
And
you'll
hungry and then eating my shit.
You'll be eating your own feces. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
That would be bad. Yeah, that would be bad.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That is. That's a terrifying. I always thought, because that's one thing about any horror film, especially any with vampires or zombies. It's great that the iconic concept of bodies coming out of graves is great, but in reality, how can you fucking get through 6 feet of dirt and break the wood, especially if you're a shambling, like, it really doesn't make any sense, but it's a great thing. It's a great trope. Visual. It's a trope that we always accept, but like, how do you break out of a grave?
Well, if you're wealthy, your coffin is in a crypt. So it's a big room and there's other coffins.
But still,
so we're talking about coming through the ground.
I'm talking about like a cemetery. Like,
wait a minute. Would the wood have rotted.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't put in a coffin, if it's 6 feet of dirt, you know how heavy that is. Like, how do you get out of that?
But if you're dead and all you need to do is just keep moving, eventually
it would take you months though.
That's true. Right. It wouldn't be like Return of the Living Dead. Where
just pop up
out.
Yeah.
It'd be a persistent zombie to get up through the 6 feet of dirt.
And they don't want it.
You got
an allegory for success.
Your thing is buried alive. Like
I was thinking, the Serpent and the Rainbow.
Yeah.
The scene in the Serpent and the Rainbow when Bill's character realizes he's in a coffin is it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen in a movie. It scared the crap out of me. But just you go, oh my God, he's alive in underground. Like that's one of my biggest fears is being buried alive.
There's a good buried alive scene in Kill Bill too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Great scene. Yeah. Great scene. Kill Bill 2 though. Is it Kill Bill 2?
Right. Yeah. 2.
Yeah.
Or how about those movies where you're a supernatural being of some sort who is able to live forever and you get trapped and you're buried alive for like 1,000 years.
Interview with a Vampire. Remember, they take Louis and bury him upside down and cement the wall, and he's stuck in there.
Oh,
and that was a horrifying scene to me.
Torchwood.
Oh yeah, Jack Harkness.
Yeah.
Jack Harkness in Torchwood is kind of can't die, and he goes through some bad shit.
A lot of really horrible shit. Yeah. Anyway, that was a good one.
As long as you brought up Torchwood, I never liked it. I gotta say.
I thought it was very hot and cold. I thought there were actually brilliant episodes, and then there were episodes like what? Like it was very inconsistent.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
I agree.
Part of it was the borderline Puss in Boots pantomime of the lead character. The way he acted, the way John Barrowman's acting was so over the top and so ridiculous that I couldn't ever engage with it.
Really? I liked him though. Great
idea for a character, but I just could never. I always thought he was way too big and broad, and it just didn't work for me. Torchwood was going to be like the new X-Files kind of thing.
Yeah, and I agree with Sean. There were some brilliant episodes, and when it worked, it was great. But I mean, I know what you're saying, and I felt like I liked the ensemble more than I liked him necessarily as a leading man.
I did like him,
but he grew on me too.
Yeah, and he actually always worked really well as the guest star on Doctor Who too.
Yes,
and he's come back too.
Yeah,
in the new Doctor Who. So I like him.
She's who's the lead? She's Welsh.
I can't remember her name.
She's on a new series like a BBC, but they have it on HBO Max where she's a cop, and this couple are going around murdering people. And I think it's called We Hunt at Night or something. Great show.
Really? It's Jodie Whittaker.
No.
The woman who plays the lead in Torchwood.
In Torchwood. Sorry.
Wait a second.
Sid Haig?
She's Welsh. Know that.
Eve Miles.
That's right. Yes,
Eve Miles.
I always like the little gap between her teeth.
Me too.
Yeah, very sexy.
Yeah, it is.
I got a thing about gap teeth.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Letterman. Boy. Ooh.
How about we move on to
celery there?
What a gap.
How about we move on to another topic?
Please.
Go for it.
All right. What is your favorite sci-fi soundtrack?
Who could this be?
I don't think it was me.
What?
I don't have one though. It's like I've 20. It's hard to pick.
I think it's Matta's.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, mine is Logan's Run.
I was going to say that one too. I love
really? That's your favorite? Logan's Run?
I love that soundtrack.
It's my favorite for a number of reasons. Not necessarily because I know that there, as you were saying, Sean, there's so many great ones. But that's the one where I have, not only do I like the music, but I have a personal connection to it. There was a time in my life I had the album and I listened to it all the time. I was such a Logan's Run fan. And as we've discussed in the past, there were so few items of memorabilia back then for us to collect.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the soundtrack and maybe a couple of crystals that I got at a convention. And so, that was my thing. That was my Logan's Run collection. And then just stuff that I made. I tried to make the Sandman gun, and I had my, mom's friend make a Sandman shirt that was okay,
Yeah.
But that soundtrack, when I hear it to this day, it just really sparks something in me. So I have other favorite soundtracks, but that one has a connection.
The Goldsmith is Jerry Goldsmith.
Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah.
James, what about you?
Well, it would be Star Wars, episode 4, 1977, double album. I played that thing over and over again. And now when I watch the movie, I know every music cue, even watching the movie.
Yeah.
Beautiful music, definitely, influential. So that's it for me.
Okay.
For me, like you, James, Star Wars would be one of them, but also I love Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan music.
Okay.
I love listening to that over and over and over again. And, when I have it on, I'm looking at my collection and taking my little diecast Enterprise and flying around the room and stuff. I love that one. Don't laugh. I mean, you didn't do that. You're listening to music.
That's laughter of joy.
Okay. All right.
It's brilliant.
Okay. Sean?
Star Wars was my first soundtrack I ever bought. And like James, I probably listened to that 500 times. And I know every note of that original soundtrack by heart too. So, and that movie kind of got me into other soundtracks. So I'll probably say that one as well. I
wasn't that big of a fan of the actual soundtrack album. What I liked was the story of Star Wars.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That one was one where I got the music, I got the action of the movie, and I got Roscoe Lee Brown, who was Box in Logan's Run.
That's right.
Win-win.
Yes, but that Star Wars album, it was 2 records. 2. And you listen to all the music, and in your mind, you can imagine what's happening in those little scenes. I didn't need like someone actually reading the story, to tell me what's happening in each scene.
No, I like that.
Well, okay. Well,
and again, this was before a lot of tie-ins. I mean, the paperback of Star Wars had come out, but there was nothing else. So if you wanted to revisit the movie, you played that record, and you played it a lot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get that.
Jason, what about you, man?
Well, have I ever told you my Roscoe Lee Brown story?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So when I moved out to LA, I was living in Toluca Lake, and there was a bar up the street called Timmy Nolan's in Toluca Lake. And, there were a bunch of us in the same building, all from the Twin Cities. We all kind of knew each other, or I knew one guy and he knew another guy, and we all became friends. And a bunch of, we'd drink, most nights and walk up to Timmy Nolan's, and Roscoe Lee Brown, that was his local bar. And so he was always sitting up at the bar.
Wow.
And, we got to know him, and he was just, hello, darling, hello. And he was very, very sweet, but he was always off in the corner of the bar. And it must have been about, I don't know, a year into going up there. And I got a pitcher of beer with my friend Craig, and we're sitting down, we're drinking the beer, and Roscoe's up at the bar. And I sit down, and I'm facing the bar looking at Roscoe, and my friend Craig is facing me with his back to Roscoe. And I go, Roscoe's here, Box from Logan's Run. That's him. And then Craig said something like, yeah, the Cowboys, John Wayne. And I said something else. And then Craig all of a sudden said, narrated the story of Star Wars record. And I suddenly had this moment of like, oh my God, that was Roscoe. Like it never occurred to me. It didn't until he said it at that time. This has got to be like 96 or 97.
Mm-hmm.
Until he said it, it never would have occurred to me, that how much that album meant to me. And how familiar his voice was in the narration.
Wow!
I think he always drank either a martini or an old fashioned or something. I forget what it was, but I said, "Holy shit!"
This is what he drank. he drank vodka, a little rum, and fish, and plankton, and seaweeds, and protein from the sea.
It was very similar. It was something like that. And so I was just floored. It just everything came flooding back, and it was like, oh my God. So I went up to the bar, and I sent a drink over to him. And then the bartender was like, "It's from Jay," and he looked over, and I think, and he used to say when you'd go up to see him and say, "Hey Roscoe, how are you tonight?" he'd say, well, I'm still here. And so I drank and I sent it over to him and he looked at me and he kind of went, why? And I said, because you're still here. And then I went and sat down. And it was a moment of like him telling me that. And I went, oh my God, every word of that album was so ingrained into my brain.
Right.
I played that more than the soundtrack. But if I didn't misunderstand the question, I'm going with the Flash Gordon soundtrack by Queen.
Oh,
sure.
That's
love it.
So great.
I love all the soundtracks you mentioned. If we're going to say, what have I played the most? What do I love the most?
Mm-hmm.
What is evocative at times? And also the final song, The Hero, is the greatest Queen songs ever. And one of the greatest Freddie vocal. Song. It is one of my favorite songs of all time. So I would go with the Queen Flash Gordon soundtrack.
Nice one, Jason.
Good choice.
Nice one.
Thank you.
I like that. I am taking a topic out of the skull.
Okay. And I will take this one.
Okay. It's got mold on it. And it also appears to be a novel. Let me read it. I don't know who wrote this. If your house was if your house was about to be destroyed by a giant meteor and you only have time to grab one toy to save from your collection, what would it be?
Wow.
This is yours, right?
No, this isn't mine. I didn't write this.
I think that's mine. I think that's my writing.
Okay.
Oh.
Again, if your house was about to be destroyed by a giant meteor and you only have you have time to grab one toy to save from your collection, what would it be?
That's really tough.
Now,
boy, that's really
Can I
tough.
ask one question about the meteor? When the meteor's coming down, I mean, do we have like an hour or we have literally like 30 seconds?
It's got to be 30 seconds.
If it's a rush, if it's a rushing and like, oh my God, it's about to end, grab something.
Now I have a problem because if my stuff is behind glass, I need time to take the key.
Okay, let's not. Come on.
You break the glass.
Time to go to the cabinet and get it out. Okay, you can. I'll even grant you. You got to go to the garage. You got to find the box.
No.
One thing. It's one thing.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be convenient. You just have to. It's got to be the thing that you want to get.
Okay, I think I know.
Wow, that's impressive. So I don't have it yet, so you go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Well, I would say it would be a really tough decision, but Sean, immediately you're thinking the meteor's coming. You have 30 seconds. You can only take one thing. What is it? My eye goes straight to my tin toy battery operated remote control Godzilla that I got in Japan from Mr. Kitahara back in '89. This is the tin toy robot Godzilla that was made in the 1970s. And yes, Sean, I would leave the box. I would just grab the toy because the toy is in perfect shape.
Is the box with the toy?
Yes. Yeah, the box is actually
take the box.
Yeah,
that's include you. That's part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So now that means I have to say goodbye to my AHI creatures that are sitting right above that shelf and the plastic Godzillas that were in Godzilla vs. Smog Monster. But if you're saying I can only take one, it would have to be that one.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, I've given this a little bit of thought, given the time we've had. And I think I have to take something that was from my childhood. Boy, I'm really on the fence here because I have my Zeroids, which I love, which are these plastic robots. And I loved them when I was a kid. Now, I don't have any of the original ones anymore. I have ones that I found later on eBay. Yeah. I'd be very tempted to take one of those. But I do have Electron Plus from the Color Forms Outer Spacemen.
Oh, the gray one. The gray one
that looks like helmet. The man from Planet X.
Yes, I know exactly the one. That's
now the one that I have right now is the one that I had when I was a child.
No.
And somehow it has survived and is in relatively good shape. There's a little bit of some dings here and there, but it's actually in surprisingly good shape. Wow. And I remember when I was a little kid, I was taking a bath and I had this near the bath and my dad came in and he stepped on the helmet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh. And so for years I kept this thing, but I always wanted a helmet for it. And then finally, years later, I found some company that made replacements.
Yeah.
So I got the gun, I got the helmet. You know, that toy represents like this my life, you know, and putting something right, and holding on to a relationship for years and years. So yeah, I think I would grab that.
Nice one, Matt. That's a nice one. And I didn't know that was your childhood one. I've seen that.
Yeah.
All right, Sean.
That's really tough. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm going with a childhood thing, kind of like Matt was saying, I think the one figure I have, I think it is from my original childhood, I believe, and that's the Alpha 7 Colorforms Aliens guy. That little guy. With the he has his helmet. The Martian. But he's called Alpha 7.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite figure, one of my favorite figures as a kid. And that one, if I was going something for more of like a thing to display and to keep, I might say my Zuni fetish doll. Because that's a life-size replica prop, and that's such a cool thing that that I can keep. So I'd say either that, or if it's more childhood keepsake, I'd say the little Martian guy.
Yeah, but the question says grab one.
Well, yeah, it'll be one. There's two scenarios.
No, you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. The meteor's
but
coming.
Since I created the question, I get to have two.
And that was just toys, right? That wasn't collectible.
It doesn't. It says grab one toy to save from your collection.
Okay.
Jason, what about you, buddy?
Just one, right?
Just one.
Don't think I haven't thought about this question before. Maybe not a meteor. There's about a top 5 that I kind of have. But I think if I really had to pick, I think it was maybe my 8th birthday. And my dad was my dad was a complicated person, and a very, very strange. And ever since he passed away, the more things I find out about him, the more complicated it gets. But every now and then he'd come up with a gift that was so like, where did you get this? And it was my 8th birthday, and he got me a Marvel compendium of the Hulk. Which on the cover said a major TV, like a big TV star. So it must have been 78 or something. And I still have every bit of it in the box and everything. He gave me the ARC diecast figure of Baltan. And it was one in a series of, I think, 4. And then every limb, every joint connected with this strange sort of these plastic bits. He had the metal claws, and he came with these accessories where you could pop his head off and make the neck longer and make other thing. But I had no idea what it was. I had no idea what it was from. The packaging is all in Japanese, and I played with that thing. Just any scenario I could get my figures into, he showed up, and I still have it. I have it in the box. And it's pristine. And I always think of that birthday. I don't know where he would have found it, like maybe a catalog or some crazy store he would have gone to, because it must have been 78 or 79 maybe or something. For some reason, that's got a real soft spot for me. So I probably would grab that.
Nice.
Good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I love that figure. I want that figure.
Yeah, so do I.
How much do you pay for it?
I'm not going to buy yours. No, I'm not.
I'm not really attached to it, to be honest with you.
All right. Well,
James, what about you?
See you in 10 minutes.
James, what about you?
Well, we've talked before about this company out of Japan called Iwakura that does these little, they call them ornaments. They'll do the fringe characters from Godzilla movies and other kaiju movies that Bandai and other companies don't get to or bother to make. And the coolest thing that Iwakura produced was the dancing disco fish head people from Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster.
Yep, I got them too.
And I just love the fact that someone bothered to make those. And it's just so cool to me. And not only that, but if I lost those in a meteor, it would be really tough to replace them. So that's what I would grab.
Nice one, guys. Nice one.
That's good.
All right. I am pulling out the topic. Okay. This is a moldy one. What comic needs to be a movie, but probably won't be?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That looks like mine.
This looks like Matt.
Childish writing.
What comic needs to be a movie, but probably won't be.
Oh yeah.
Now I need to think about this one. Anyone know right off the bat?
Yes.
I got one.
I bet Jason LENZI does.
Shit.
You don't have to.
No, I will, but give me one round. Let me.
Okay. Larry has one, I think.
I do. And we had a guest on a while back, a friend of Matt's,
Cooper Barnes,
and he had talked about Hawkman. Remember Hawkman? And he actually did a satirical piece that's up on YouTube. And I thought, oh my God, Hawkman, that would be really cool. He says, no, Larry, that would not be good because look, he doesn't really have a superpower. He straps on these wings and that's what makes him fly. So it's not like he has a superpower. He has like superpowers. So, and I said, it's just that today's writers haven't put their spin on it. He said that probably will never be made into a movie. So that's the first thing that I thought of was Hawkman.
Okay.
So one that you don't think will be made into a movie, though.
A comic that, because I think that would be cool. I would like that. I would like to see it because let's say Batman doesn't have supernatural powers. He's just a very smart guy that has all these really cool things. And I think Hawkman would be similar in that sense.
I always liked Hawkman as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he looked really cool.
Yeah, me too.
And I always thought that he looked like he was just this flying warrior. He had the big mace that he carried around.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are different incarnations of that character, but just the initial design, I always thought was cool. And when I was a kid, I even tried to make a costume out of cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but like you see, no, what's funny is even if you look at all the costumes from the superheroes from back in the day, all of them have been kind of updated in a sense. So I think Hawkman could be updated, and I think it could be really cool. But that's me.
But is the question though that something you'd like to see, but you don't think for whatever reason that it would ever be made?
It's right. What comic needs to be a movie? I think Hawkman needs to be a movie, but probably won't be.
These days, that's hard to even say because they're making everything.
Yeah, maybe Art Spiegelman's Mouse.
Oh yeah,
because that's like the whole Holocaust analogy, which like the Jews are mice and Germans are cats. But would they make that today? I don't know. Would it be a hard sell done as an animated thing? Maybe I don't know.
It would have to be like Persepolis animated that way. I think.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Just like it has to be in a certain style I
might have one.
Okay.
I was a big fan of the comic Planetary.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know that one.
Is Warren Ellis, right?
Yeah. He basically the premise was basically there was this team, all the myths and all the creatures and all the things that he was riffing on everything from Godzilla to Doc Savage to whatever. And he did original versions of all of them. But there was this team that were like, they were called historical archaeologists or something. One guy was called something Snow. He's all in white. Then this woman, and then this guy called the Drummer. And he could feel the ground and feel things.
Yeah. I love that book.
Things that were happening. And it's white, 3 years old. It was a great book. I thought that would be a great series or a great series of movies. It was really trippy too with the stuff he riffed on. That I always wanted to see that as some other medium. I thought.
Cool. Good.
James, what about you?
One of my favorite Alan Moore comics is called Top 10. And it's a little bit like Hill Street Blues. It's about a police precinct and the cops who are just going by their day to day, trying to get by, but they're in an environment where all of the citizens, every citizen in this town is either a superhero or a villain. Everybody, including the cops, have superpowers.
Everybody has a power.
Yeah. Huh. And it's a
great book.
It's a lot.
Great book. Yeah, it's a great book.
Probably will never get made. I mean, they can do it now with all CGI, but I don't think anyone's ever going to bother. But it's definitely worth a read. It's a lot of fun.
Was it Gene Ha? Was Gene Ha the artist?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's a great book. And actually, Tom Strong was fun too. That was always a fun book, I thought.
Well, and if we're talking about Alan Moore, I mean, one of the books that I would love to see come to life is Miracle Man.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a whole saga. You could do a bunch of sequels, and that's like the adult version of Shazam, Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that thing goes into some really dark places and just, you know, some nice allegorical tales about power and religion. And then when Neil Gaiman took it over, he took it into a nice direction as well. So, I mean, that would be a great one. But the first one that I was thinking of was, now we've had Blade movies and Ghost Rider, and I believe that's the only Marvel horror that's been done
so far. Yeah.
So far, I think they're doing Morbius.
Yeah.
But I would like to see the rest of the Marvel horror universe. Like my favorite comic growing up as a kid was Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see a movie that had Werewolf by Night, Tomb of Dracula, that Dracula, and throw the Living Mummy in there and Brother Voodoo. And remember Son of Satan?
Oh, yeah.
Son of Satan was Damon Hellstrom, who was the literal son of Satan. And he had a big pentagram on his bare chest, and he wore red tights, and he had a trident. Ridiculous. And I would love to see that done, but with just exactly like the comics, but no winking and nodding.
Right. Just play it straight. Yeah.
Speaking of that Hellstrom series on Hulu.
Yeah. What is that?
It's pretty freaking good.
Is it based on is an original thing? Or is it based on?
It's based on what Matt was just talking about.
Is it really?
Is it?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I've seen ads for it. I didn't know.
It is not the comic. It is not the design of the comic or any of that. They're taking elements from it, but that's where it's sort of coming from. These two grown siblings, man and woman, that got separated as kids. The son went off with the mother, who went insane. The daughter goes off with the father, who is a monster, basically. And as the story builds, you start to understand who their father really is, kind of thing. But
by the way, I would like them to see, we're talking about Marvel horror, I would like to see someday a really good Ghost Rider movie.
Well, wait a minute. You just said, wasn't there a comic that maybe they only did a couple issues, but it was Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, Frankenstein, like they all were like a team. Am I crazy?
Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar. Like it was like a horror team up.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar. I think you're right.
Well, and then for a while, there was the Champions, and the Champions was Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night.
Oh, maybe that's it then.
That's it. That's the one.
And Iceman.
Yes.
And maybe somebody else. I forget who the other.
I remember. You're right. That comes.
And it was like 3 comics. Because how do you keep that team together?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And
no one's going to show up to the meeting.
I want to say they did a Tomb of Dracula animated movie back in the 70s or 80s.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah. I remember renting the beta tape.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to look that up.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's some things that fall through the net.
I know.
What was the DC monster one? Was it Creature Commandos? It was like an army one. Like that would be a freaking cool, like a World War II. I'd like to see that.
I'd absolutely.
I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Alan Moore, since you brought him up, I got a question since the 4 of you all know comics and you dig this stuff, and I love Alan Moore. We all know that he really hates anybody touching his stuff. He's been very vocal about it. Do any of you find it interesting that most of what he's done has been riffing on existing characters that he did not create, or characters throughout literature that he did not create?
Like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen
I mean, even Watchmen was because he couldn't use the Charlton characters. He wanted to use the Charlton characters. DC said, no, you're not going to kill him off. He does, archetypes of each of those. Swamp Thing, Miracle Man. It's all, a lot of what he's done has been playing with other people's creations, including Superman. And, brilliant as he is. Anyone else find it a little ironic that he hates when people touch his stuff?
It's
true. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. You're right.
Okay, so I was getting the Champions mixed up with the Legion of Monsters.
Okay.
Champions had Hercules, Ghost Rider, Iceman, Angel, and Black Widow. Whereas the Legion of Monsters had Morbius, Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, and Man-Thing.
Man-Thing.
Wow.
And Man-Thing was like their, Swamp Thing, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't it seem like in both those cases, both DC and Marvel, they did like a topic free-for-all thing where they just took all their characters' names, put them in a bucket, and said, okay, let's take the first 5 that you pick out as a new team.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Hey, that was fun.
But that didn't last long, though, did it? Did that last? I mean, how many issues was the one?
Both of those titles, the Champions and the Legion of Monsters, didn't last very long. I think the Legion of Monsters, they only did 1 issue, and then they revisited the idea a couple times over the years, but it's never been a giant seller.
There you
go. All right. Moving on. That was nice.
All right.
That was nice.
It was fun.
All right. This one. Okay. What is the craziest, looniest scientific explanation for a movie monster's origin?
I think that's mine. Yeah.
That's a nice one.
That's a good one. Yeah. I think I wrote down one movie in mind too. I remember now. Well, okay, this movie we've talked about before, but if you ever watch this movie, you have to watch the scene where the scientist explains what the monster is. And this is from The Giant Claw from the 50s. The monster already is ridiculous. It's a big cuckoo bird marionette, giant marionette cuckoo bird that looks ridiculous. But there's a scene where the scientist explains what it is, and it's like, okay, this is an alien creature, and it's made of antimatter, and it creates a force field around it. but it looks like a big turkey. I mean, so but it was just the way he describes it, even as a little kid, like, what the hell? It's really ridiculous. It's like they can't, that's why like the bullets and they try to kill the army, you can't stop because it's got this antimatter force field around it, and it's from outer space. But it's a bird with feathers and it squawks, and it's like, it just makes no sense. So that one is always one of my favorite ones.
Oh my God, Sean, it's so funny you say that. I thought you were going to say The Maze from.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Now I don't want to explain.
Well, we've talked about that before, right?
Without going into too much detail, but Richard Carlson goes into an amazing, bizarre, almost comical explanation as to why things are they are
because the creature is strange.
Yes, and the thing about it is Richard Carlson is so great and so serious about explaining the science, and we've seen him in It Came from Outer Space and Creature from the Black Lagoon, that when he does the scientific explanation, you're all he followed, and you go, what? And it's just one of those explanations that I think is just crazy, but he believes it, and he's great.
Right.
That's good.
1953, I believe. Yeah.
When you brought up The Giant Claw, Sean, that made me think of a really ridiculous origin story, which is sort of a reluctant favorite of all of us. And that would be Blood Freak.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Blood Freak with the turkey monster. Part man, part turkey, who becomes that way because he is affected by chemicals in turkey meat because he's working at a turkey farm. And these two scientists are experimenting with this turkey meat, and they give him some, but he also mixes that with marijuana.
Yeah, it's the combination.
Combination turns him into this turkey monster.
Yep, that's a classic.
That's enough for me.
Yep,
that's a good one.
Is Blood Feast? Is it Russell Gordon-Lewis?
No, this is Blood Freak.
Blood Freak. Blood Freak.
1972.
Yeah,
I don't think I know that.
No, it's a Z grade like drive-in film.
Yeah,
but it has to be seen to be believed.
Yes,
it's also like a strange Christian parable too.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
God,
that's a good one though.
Great for the family.
Yes, for Thanksgiving, it's perfect.
Holidays are coming up.
Yeah,
after Sunday Mass.
Yep. James, how about you?
I would go with a movie from the mid 80s called Nightmares, which was an anthology movie.
Yeah.
With Emilio Estevez.
Oh, yeah, the Bishop of Battle. That's the computer.
Yeah, right. Because he gets trapped in the video game, right?
Yeah.
But I want to say that the last segment, Albert Haig, who was Professor Sharovsky from Fame, and he also wrote the lyrics to the Grinch songs from the Dr. Seuss special.
Yeah.
He's this, wizened old expert on a monster that what he explains is a demon rat in a completely straight face.
Yeah.
And there's no other name for this thing, but he just explains that it's a demon rat.
Yeah, I think it's Richard Mazer and his family are terrorized by just a big giant rat in their house. With terrible special effects, and
it's just film of a rat that they enlarge.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's called Night of the Rat, and it's ridiculous.
Night of the Rat.
Yeah.
Working overtime on that one.
That's a good one.
Jason?
I have a real soft spot for Richard Mazer. I don't know why that is.
Me too. I always liked him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Whenever he pops up in stuff, I go, there's Richard Mazer. I really like him.
Yeah, he's good in The Believers, that voodoo movie with Martin
He's good in Believers.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good in The Thing. He's got a part in The Thing. He's been around very long, but
It from 1990, Stephen King's.
TV miniseries. He was on One Day at a Time.
That's right.
He was. There's just something about him that's just very. I liked him. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
This may not be a monster, but if I recall, the origin was just ludicrous, and the movie was something that I would have seen in Fangoria or Starlog at the time, and it was one of those things that I thought, I can't wait to see this.
Right.
And of course, I never could because I don't know when I saw it on VHS. The movie, The Incredible Melting Man. You remember that movie?
Okay. Oh yeah, of course.
So he was like the thing was like he was an astronaut that got exposed to sun rays or something.
Yeah, right.
And he just melted the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's classic.
That was it. He just got too close to the sun, and then he just kept melting.
Well, wasn't it cosmic rays or something?
Maybe it was cosmic rays.
Well, because it's a loose. We've talked about this before, but it's actually a loose remake of a '50s film called First Man into Space.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it's not. It's unofficially. It's not. But it's the same story. And in that movie, it's the guy goes higher than any astronaut ever went into the atmosphere, and he's exposed to cosmic rays. So when he comes back, he starts melting. It's the same, pretty much the same. Melting Man that's did in a more gruesome, gory way in the 70s.
Yes.
Did he want to? Did he go mental? Because that's why he went to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, because when I guess
melting.
It's a common factor that when you start melting, you just want to drink blood and eat flesh. That just happens.
Well,
I think everyone knows this, Jason. Everyone knows.
Yes.
Clearly I'm the last jerk in line to not get this memo because I feel stupid now that I didn't know this. But I actually saw it on, I want to say like AMC or TMC or someone does like a drive-in type thing late at night. And I saw it a couple years ago, and I was just astounded at how awful it was, and just how there was nothing to it. But they made it. No, they made a Halloween costume of him.
Yes. Yes.
They also made an action figure of him, which I have.
They did. No.
Yes.
They did.
Distinctive Dummies made a great little Mego style action figure. Yeah.
I feel like it's better fondly remembered as the cover of Fangoria than it is as an actual movie.
Because Rick Baker did the makeup effects. They're all pretty good.
It's actually cover of Famous Monsters.
Yeah, he did the makeup. So yeah.
Oh, I don't think I knew.
It's a great cover.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Rick Baker did that.
Yeah. My mom took me to see that.
No.
I saw it in the theater when it came out.
That's fantastic.
My mother.
Wow.
That's great.
Did she enjoy it?
Well, she was glad to be out of the house, I think.
All right. Well, that was fun. Well, what do you say we do a lightning round, huh?
Yes.
Do a couple.
Free for all lightning round.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is a Jason one. Okay.
Lightning round.
I'm sorry. Here. I'm going to read what it says. Doctor Who casting should have Berm's wish list for the lead, classic to modern. I don't know what that means.
No, I said should have been / wish list / for the lead.
Oh, should have beens?
Who you'd want to be the Doctor?
Yeah, like pick an era, like the 70s or 80s or whatever, and think, who would have been good in that part is so and so. Anything, movie, modern,
To keep this going quickly, why don't we just throw out some names of people we'd like to see as the Doctor?
All
George
right,
Lazenby.
Who'd you say?
George Lazenby.
Nice.
Well, I think he'd make a better Doctor Who than James Bond.
Steve Coogan.
Yes, you said that. Yeah, I would say Rowan Atkinson
Nice.
would be great, and for a female, Joanna Lumley.
Yep.
In her prime.
I'm going with who I was hoping they'd go with. Frankly, was Richard Ayoade. The last one.
Fantastic.
Oh, he would have. Wow, he'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or actually, Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd would be good too. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, in a different way. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Rich Fulcher.
Okay, those are all good.
Oh, no.
He'd be a good villain.
He'd be a good master.
I can't allow that to happen.
All right, here's another one. Lightning round. It's got mold on it. What book needs to be a movie?
Okay.
Wow, that's a big wow.
Wow.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Dunwich Horror.
I was gonna say like At the Mountains of Madness or something.
Wait,
yeah, any of Lovecraft stuff.
They did
make the Dunwich Horror though.
But I think they need to do one that is the book.
The definitive.
So we can
do it.
So we can pick one that's been remade. That's been made already.
Well, I sort of cheated, so I'll come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Hot Zone. That was that great book about a virus, and they were going to do it, but then another company did Outbreak faster, and then the guys who had Hot Zone go, okay, we're not going to do it. But Hot Zone is a terrifying book, and I think it's very timely now.
Yeah, really, that's good.
Well, I'll say Salem's Lot. Film it as written.
Okay,
which they still haven't really done yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, that's good.
There's a book. I forget the name of the author because he uses a pseudonym. But there was a book that was made into a film called John Dies at the End, and it was directed by
Don Coscarelli, right? Yeah, I haven't seen that. Is it good?
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie. But the guy that wrote that book wrote another book called "This Book Is Full of Spiders," and it literally it keeps breaking the walls as you're reading it. Like, as you're reading this, it's in your hair right now, or something's coming out of your skin, whatever. And you're like, it changes like narrators and things. It's very strange, but terrific, pulpy kind of stuff.
Weird.
And he did another one called What Just Happened, or What Is Really Here, or something. And they're all that same fine line of like kind of horror type stuff and comedy, and like very, very funny.
Interesting.
But this book is full of spiders. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here's my other choice then. The Moat in God's Eye, which is a book by Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell about our first contact with an alien species that has secrets. And it's really good, very smart, fun roller coaster of a novel.
Tell me what else Larry Niven
Larry
did?
Niven, he did lots of stuff, right?
Hammer.
Yeah, Lucifer's Hammer, right.
Yes. Okay.
Inferno, which is a retelling of Dante's Inferno, which is a lot of fun, satirical.
Cool.
Yeah, they did a bunch of books together.
Okay.
Cool.
How about one more? Just one more. Huh?
Do it. Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's go out with a bang. Pick a good one.
Okay. Moldy one. If you could have a pet monster, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. I think that's mine. Maybe, I don't know.
If it could stay small, I'd love to have a fish tank with a little Loch Ness monster, a little Nessie in it. That's what I would love to have.
Okay,
that's called a lizard.
No, it's not. No, it's not a lizard. Lizard who has little flipper things and swims in the water with a big long neck. No.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I think because it would be so easy to take care of, and I would know how to take care of it. And that would be a tribble.
Oh, just don't feed it.
Yeah, but they don't. Right. They're great. Yeah.
So you just have a starving tribble.
If you remember though, they don't have to eat. You don't have to eat them. You don't have to eat that much. They just you just feed them little teeny bits. But then
they're born pregnant.
Yeah, but then you give some away as gifts.
Not a good idea, dude.
Well, I guess I know what we're getting for Christmas, Matt.
Yeah. I know what I want.
What's that?
I want a Willard-style army of rats.
to do your bidding.
That's
good.
I will get my way, man.
Right.
Come on,
That's
really?
That's a functional pet.
All the Ernest Borgnines in your life.
Sure,
man,
yeah.
they're
Anybody
gone.
ever fucked with me? It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah,
I am not like Willard.
I like that.
You are going to be my favorite. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to pet you. You can sleep with me. Just tell your army of rats to do my bidding.
I guess your cats are moving out then, because that's just way too many rats.
Leave the cats alone.
Right.
No, I'd go for the Dorats, the little flying creatures from Godzilla versus King Ghidorah that eventually morph into King Ghidorah, but they have to be radioactivated to do that.
So probably
before that happens,
they're like little gremlins, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, they fly around. They're cute. So
Would you have all three? Or
Sure,
just
why not?
one?
Yeah, I'll go 3.
Yeah,
All right.
I like that.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
It's good.
That's a
Jason.
If we were talking household pet, I got to think of space. I got to think of my temperament. I got to think of my safety. I'm going with a Mogwai. I'll take a Mogwai.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very few rules. If I screw it up and get them wrong, then I deserve what I get. You know?
Right.
Yeah, they remain cute as long as you follow the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Follow the rules. You know what? It's a metaphor for 2020. What's been happening?
That's right.
Follow the rules.
Jason,
Right.
You're absolutely
Be cautious.
right.
Yeah.
Be cautious. Follow the rules, and shit won't get fucked up.
That's right.
Don't
What
eat
a
after
way
midnight.
to end this episode.
Jason, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. This was
Just
so fun.
wonderful.
It has been
Good.
fun.
You are always a
Anytime.
delight, and we need you for these type of episodes.
Yeah.
Because
Consider
you have
me-
this wonderful knowledge base, and that's not always the case, which is fine. You know, everybody has their own fields of expertise, but
Right,
it's
right.
nice when you get somebody who likes as many things as
Yeah, you're a well-rounded nerd.
Yeah.
You're like,
Now, Jason, is there anything you're
Huge-
working on that you can tell us about? Something
Huge
we can
compliment.
look forward to? Or?
Well, no, I'm just a gun for hire on the new Wipeout, big outdoor game show that's come back. So I'm producing on that. Still doing the Chrysler voiceover stuff, the Pacifica, which is nice. I worked on a feature script that we're kind of waiting to hear about. The guy I wrote that with.
Cool.
Trying to keep busy during all this stuff.
yes,
basically.
exactly.
Yep.
But this has been great. I'm so glad to have gotten the call. Do it anytime.
Yes,
Nice.
please. And also let us know about new cool Biff Bang Pow stuff that's coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will. I absolutely will. We're just everything's got a bit of a holding pattern at the moment, but I definitely will.
And we
Cool.
mention you on every episode because all the stuff that you donated to us throw in as extras for our Patreon members when they order some swag. We throw in some Star Trek shot glasses or something.
Yeah.
There you go. Happy to donate, man.
Goofy question,
best.
Jason. I know it's a ways away, but I know that Biff Bang Pow, you're always got to have a presence at Comic-Con in San Diego. Are you guys talking about being there?
Yeah. What are we going to see at Comic-Con 2024?
Yeah.
I was thinking
Well-
2021, but you know.
That's a very good question. But in the meantime, someone's been.
Oh,
What a
you got your
cutie.
dog.
This is
It's
my
a
dog,
Mogwai.
Bowie. This is Bowie. He's been staring at me, literally staring at me this entire time. He didn't even sleep. Like, when are you going to be done? So I wanted him to say hi to you guys.
That's
Can you say
cute.
hi to him? That's Bowie.
He's a
That's
beauty.
Well, that's a nice way of saying you can't talk about it. So.
Well, no, only that we're just everything. I don't know if you heard about what's been happening in 2020, but there's been a bit of a health scare. I don't know how to say it.
I'm not aware of this.
But
Yeah.
I did notice that people seem to be doing the Halloween thing for quite a while.
For some, don't take this to the bank, but I think it's going to cause some ripple effects and maybe things are going to slow down a little bit. Okay. But I don't know yet. Let's just see. But as soon as I know anything about Comic-Con, I will. This is the first place I'm coming.
Jason, thanks again for being with us. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
We give a little toast to Jason LENZI.
Yeah.
Jason LENZI and the wrath of the topic free for all.
You guys are the best.
Funny.
You're my favorite COVID era podcast.
And scene.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
This goes out to longtime listener Brandon Meyer from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Cool.
Brandon.
Who's also a Patreon member.
Oh, wow.
Also to Frank Lucchese Soto from Arlington Heights, Illinois.
All right.
And to Gary Randall from Sun Valley, California.
All right, Gary.
These three listeners are all proud owners of Monster Party merch.
Oh,
They recently purchased
those
on our
stamps.
Gary Randall.
Yes,
Oh
thank
my
you,
God,
bud.
from Sun Valley. I think I know
Yes,
this
from
guy.
Sun Valley. That Gary Randall.
He's a very
This is
talented
like-
production designer.
Mm-hmm.
We want to thank all of you for your support and for listening. And we want to remind everybody that you can find Monster Party swag on our eBay store, which is Monster Party Store. That's easy to remember. We still have inventory and plenty of sizes available, and shipping is still free. So take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? It's still free?
I know. I don't know.
Such a deal.
I feel like I don't have the
Insane.
heart to, but we'll give it another round. I think we have most of our sizes and t-shirts. We might be down to one cap at this point.
Ooh.
So,
Who's going to get that
Wow.
cap?
Who's gonna get it?
Who's going to get
Yeah.
that cap?
unless you want one of the ones that I've been wearing, which I don't. That's not good.
Wow.
That's how COVID started. So we have all these shirts and you can get them with free shipping. But if you are a Patreon member, what we will do is we will throw in goodies from our guests, Jason Lindsay and Biff Bang Pow Toys.
That's right.
With your order, free gifts to make your day a little brighter, to make this
Nice.
horrible year a little less terrible.
Sounds good.
So all you got to do to join Patreon is go to patreon.com, look up Monster Party, press the join button, follow the instructions, and you will be part of the vast human adventure that is Monster Party.
How much does that cost, Matt?
Oh, it's only $5. Thank you for reminding me, James. It's only $5. And what could you buy with $5?
Not
so
much
many
these
things.
days.
Well,
Nothing
Yeah.
except a good time from Monster Party.
That's right.
That's what it buys. So this
Such a
is
deal.
the deal of the year, and we offer such sights to show you, and sounds, and toys, and t-shirts. And before we move on from shout outs, I have a couple more. I got some cards from some lovely people in our lives. First, the lovely and talented artist Chev
mhm.
Nick Chevalev.
sent us a Halloween card, and look,
Cool.
No.
with his own artwork of the Frankenstein monster.
Wow.
Nice.
Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And then we
Yeah.
also got a card from Mark Pitta. Look what he sent us.
Mark
This
Pitta.
nice
Cool.
card with Count
It's an-
Orlok, Nosferatu,
Nosferatu.
wishing us a happy Halloween.
Classic shadow
Yeah, beautiful,
image. Yeah.
beautiful
Going up the
work.
stairs. Like
Yes. And this is incredible. Our Australian fan, Jai Titcomb, he's always communicating with us.
it. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Delightful guy, and has invited us to come to Australia. And I might be leaving tomorrow, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good trip.
but he's great. And he sent us this nice little care package with some gifts. First of all,
Ooh.
we
Wow.
got these lovely Australia stickers, and I'm going to stick these on everything. And then we got a nice card. The card is of Toowoomba, Queensland.
All right.
Wow.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful
Beautiful.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to go. I think as a group, we did the Japan trip. I think
Yeah.
we need to go to Australia.
We have to find some Razorbacks.
Right. Let's go to Wolf Creek.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he sent us a note, and I'm going to read the note.
But you have to do it in an Australian accent now. It says, does it start off by saying, "G'day, mate"? G'day, you monster.
I'm not
G'day,
gonna
monster
torture
party.
you with that.
Hey, Larry, can you do an Australian James Mason? That'd be good.
G'day, mate. I don't know.
Perfect. I apologize. But he sent this note, and it says, "Merry Xmas. I just wanted to send you guys a little something to say thanks for all the laughs over the years. I've listened to your podcast for years now. I can't even remember when I started. It's so long ago. And your antics never stop making me smile, giggle, and just about wet my pants.
Awesome.
No matter the topic, no matter the guest, I always enjoy the episode and learn something new from it. So thanks very much, Matt, Sean, Larry, and James. And please have a fun and safe Xmas period.
Awesome.
Please don't open till Xmas or your Xmas podcast, please. Okay.
Oh,
I just opened this package. And so I didn't know that. I didn't know he wanted us to wait. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
We're going to wait for our Christmas episode. So folks,
all right.
You feel that tension? Kind of like the election. It's like, what's going to happen?
Count the days. Awesome.
So yeah. And
thanks so much.
Thank you, John.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
And I will read the second part of this when we actually open the presents because
awesome.
they relate to the presents. But
all the way from Australia. That's amazing.
All the way from Australia.
That's great.
Look, we love all our fans, but the fans that send us something, we like them more.
But we also really like those fans who send us 4 of something because that way each one of us
we tease, of course. We love you all, but we're children. We're like little fucking children, and we love getting things. And I wish we weren't like that. I wish we were like, oh no, hey, don't send us stuff. We're fine. We're guy. No,
we love it. We love it. We love it, and we will fight over it. It's like, here's 4 cards, each of you can choose.
I want the card of a decreaser.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. If you only could see what happens when the mics go off, and now we fight over what's been said. Oh, thing to behold. But anyway, that was great. That was terrific
awesome.
Fun. So I would just like to throw out a huge thanks to all of our fans for listening and for supporting us and for making our lives better during this time.
Absolutely.
Totally.
And hey, let's remind our listeners that you can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV and on Twitter at Monster Party HQ, Instagram also Monster Party HQ. And hey, whatever platform you're listening to us on, please take a moment, write a review. We'd love to hear from you, and we will read it on the air.
Yes, we will.
Absolutely.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And have your own topic free-for-all. Or just a free-for-all. And a cold glass of vodka and kale on the rocks.
Yeah.
What? No, it's good. It's fiber. I am now recording because you know how we may add some of this.
Yeah. I'm glad you waited.
Yeah. And here comes Larry. There he is. It's just less and less shit in your room every time you come back. And there's the skull.
There's the skull.
That was the topic free-for-all skull that we had been telling you about, Jason.
The skull of destiny.
The famous skull. Now I want to just
skull of the Marquis de Sade.
It is. It's true. And it floats around. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, that's his, huh? My voice is not what it should be, but I'm going to do my best because we've been shooting 12-hour days and I've been getting up at 3:30 to get to the recording studio at 5 to do these VO sessions and out there with all the dust and dirt on the set. It's kicking my ass. So my voice isn't great, but I'll
come on. See, this is like Robert Goulet coming in and going, my voice is a little shot. I don't think I'll be at.
I don't think it's fair to.
You'll have to settle for 9.75.
I just want to be clear because if this goes on real,
Are you saying?
This is going right to Q.
Are you saying, Jason, that your voice sounds like shit? And you sound like shit? Is that what you're saying?
would never go that far. It's still there.
He's got his marbles.
Still smooth as
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Okay, good. All right, good. Okay. This will help right here.
Oh yeah.
Now we all got a cocktail, right? Okay, there's a cocktail.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then what are you drinking there?
What are we drinking?
What's that, James?
Stone IPA.
This is sake.
Sake.
Oh,
God bless you.
Is it?
I was just thinking about Japan.
Is it warm?
Room temperature.
Nice.
I like the cup though.
The traditional Japanese cup, I see.
Yes.
Dollar Tree.
Which
Dollar
emperor
Tree.
was that?
Really? Wow.
Nice. I am drinking Tito's and ginger beer, and this
Nice.
this is a Blade Runner 2089 glass.
Oh,
Really?
Nice. Great.
That's cool.
Yeah, they came with the UK DVDs, so there's a set of 2, and this is right from the movie. So I thought
nice.
I thought it would be a nice way to celebrate with you guys. And
James doesn't like that movie.
Yeah.
Blade Runner?
that's another episode.
No, not the first one. He
The
doesn't.
sequel. Yeah, I'm disappointed.
You didn't like the sequel?
I
I
love
was
it.
disappointed.
Oh, come on, Larry. What? Do you have COVID? Did you just suddenly remember the 900 fights we've had over this movie?
Yeah, on the podcast.
Demon booze.
Also, just to show I care, this is my T-shirt,
Oh,
Nice. Ultraman.
right?
Now, Jason, we had been talking about Ultraman. He picked up the Mill Creek videos, and
I did.
He's been watching them. And would you say that you are a new convert? You'd heard of Ultraman before, but you weren't really a fan, right?
Well, I was more. It was one of those things more that like you're a fan of the look and the concept than having an encyclopedic knowledge of the character. So I'd seen stuff, but it really wasn't until I immersed myself. And I think the first series that I got was, I think it was Ultra 7 was the first.
Oh man,
Great, good start.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it blew my head off. Like I could not.
Yeah, it's nuts.
The design.
That show really is. I mean, the other ones are fun, and I love the first one, of course. Ultraman and Ultra Q is
weird. It's
Ultra 7 is like everything has just come together perfectly.
Yeah.
Characters, creatures, effects.
Yeah. Now here's
what
I did.
Storylines.
I went to. Right now I've got Ultraman, Ultra 7, The Return of Ultraman, which I haven't jumped into yet.
Fun. Yeah.
Ultra Q, which you turned me on to.
Yeah, that's great.
But I also picked up the sequel to Ultra Q, the sequel series.
Yeah.
The one from a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
The more recent one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say, I don't know. Yeah.
There were
something else. Don't call it Ultra Q.
Yeah. Really. There were a couple that were kind of cool and they're cool concepts, but I was really expecting to be knocked out based on what I'd read, but I wasn't.
Hey, we'll start the show soon because I know everybody's got to go to work, but I do want to give you a recommendation, Jason. I think you should try to find the series. You may be able to find it on YouTube. And James and I discovered it really together. Operation Mystery.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, I think you gave you some copies of that. Yeah.
That's got a real Ultra Q quality to it, but it's color and some pretty strange stories. Wouldn't you say, James?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe X-Files-ish.
Yeah.
So you start 60s, 70s kind of thing?
60s.
Yeah.
I think, right? 60s or early 70s?
Color.
I think maybe it's early 70s. Yeah.
I'm down. The Ultra Q series, I love the mood of it.
It's
reading about
beautifully shot.
What an expensive show it was, and all the effort put in. You can totally see it. It's really, the music.
Yeah, it's classy production.
Yeah, all the opening titles. I just love all of it.
The music is great. There's a great surf. There's a great surf version of the opening theme.
Really?
You can find online. That's amazing.
That's good.
Hey, before we start this, Larry, just want to make sure you got Jason's topics. Yes.
Yeah.
We're good.
His 6 very intellectual topics. So.
Really?
Yeah. Way to go, Mr. Two-part question guy. Yeah. No problem. Here, let me write a novel for you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have all.
And we're off and running.
My brief was to come up with first 10, but then 6 topics that would go into the skull, the grab bag. And I got a list of previous topic.
Yes.
And I thought the first things that came to mind, I thought, I'm sure they've done these, So then I thought, okay, let me have a think. So I'm walking around the set in Santa Clarita with a clipboard, directing and writing those topics down at the same time.
You got your priorities. That's good.
So
did you get them mixed up during the day?
If you were directing and doing all this stuff and doing that, my hat is off to you, sir.
Well,
they're good questions, but I tried to put them out of my mind because I wanted to just flow over.
But keep in mind also
you don't judge them.
Wait, what?
I can't wait till one of them comes up. And then
well, that's the thing, though. Keep in mind.
We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
And there's lots of topics in there. There's like topics from other previous guests.
25.
Other show.
Oh, yeah. If I hear my own, I don't say anything.
No.
No, you can't. But I'm just saying.
Because we may come up with a question and go, we'll read the question and go, who the fuck came up with this one? And then James would go, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. And then and Matt's go, that's not my writing. Then you go, oh, that was me. And then we're going, oh.
But the thing is, some of these were we came up with so long ago that we may not even remember.
Most 90% of them will be new to us too, because
some of them literally have mold on them.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. No. And for Jason, I'm going to show you. Can you see the little
wow.
bit? Okay.
Oh, you're not kidding. You weren't kidding.
So what happened? And I'm very sorry. When we did the first show, this was with John Matta. We had a wonderful time, but with the ones that we didn't use, I kept in the skull. And we said, hey, we'll do another one, and I put it in the garage. Unfortunately, there was a leak in the garage, and some water got to it, and I had to take them out and put them out in the sun. And some kind of got together, but they had this little mold on it. So the next time we did it, I had to kind of wipe it off a little bit.
But the good thing about doing it remotely, though,
but yours are fresh. Yours are new.
And the good thing is that we're remote, so only Larry now is exposed to the deadly fungi.
Exactly,
so we'll be fine.
But surely by now, with time,
you've grown an immunity to it, though.
Herd immunity.
Of Fatty Arbuckle questions. That's all I'm hoping for.
What size was the bottle?
Okay.
Wow.
So Jackson, thank you again for being with us. So,
let's get to it.
Who's going to do the introduction? Matt, are you going to do his introduction?
Yeah.
Are you going to introduce him?
I say it's one.
You make a nice introduction.
Yeah, and do we have the name for? Are we going to do a crazy name or something?
Well, what were the last ones called? What were the last?
I
know. Just the titles of the episodes. I mean, what were they?
Wasn't it like a volume? Here, hold on.
But we could do it like we did. We did tagline tidal waves. We could come up with a topic free for all. It's already a free for all. So what do we say?
No, because you were very clever and you came up with there was the revenge of the topic free for all return.
Okay. How about topic free for all extreme edition?
Well, that's misleading because then people are going to go, "Oh, this Jason LENZI. Does this mean this is like
he's extreme?"
No, that's no.
How about topic free for all? The ninja domination.
No.
I like that.
Then that suggests everything's going to be ninja.
I love that this show is a tightly run ship. That is all.
Hey! Look, Mr. Santa Clarita director. Look,
I love it.
We're all working on stuff, so look, we're going to have this done in a moment.
Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
Matt, what was your idea? What was your thought?
I was going to say, topic free for all. Biden?
No. How about the wrath of the
wrath of topic free for all? Yes,
see?
Let's do that. This is the fourth one. Is that right?
Yes, this is the fourth one.
Okay.
Yes.
The last one was called Topic Free for All Strikes Back.
Okay, so wrath of
the wrath of the top. I mean that's kind of fun.
Topic free for all. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And I'm sure there'll be some wrath in this.
The wrath, right? The wrath. Okay, let's do it.
Wait, I got to write this down.
I just need to do a quick atmospheric adjustment, and I'll be right back.
Hey, Jason, have you ever tried King Kong wine?
Oh, I would I would though.
From the Francis Ford Coppola estate.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
So check
Really?
this.
Coppola King Kong. That's cool.
Yeah, and what's so funny about this wine is, so my brothers and sisters, because we haven't been able to see each other in over a year, we try every weekend to do like a Zoom thing, and it was my birthday a little while ago, and I mentioned this King Kong wine, and I said I tried to find it. Well, my sister went on this massive search. My youngest sister, she went to, I guess, down on Melrose or some kind of fancy wine place, and she got the last 3 bottles of King Kong wine. So I'm going to keep one sealed. I'm going to drink one, and then one day when we do our King Kong Great Ape show, then I'll have it for that one.
Cool.
Along with some King Kong Cola, which I know Sean has. Sean
That's right.
King
That's
Kong
cool.
Cola.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
The Wrath of the Topic Free for All.
Not the just
Wrath
of
Wrath.
Wrath
What?
of top. No thes. Wrath of topic free for all.
Wrath of
Topic.
Do we all sound good? Because to me, I'm hearing a little bit of breakup from Matt, audio wise.
Yeah, I'm hearing some from Jason too. I think when we're talking at once, we
picked
blot out.
Let me fix something. Hold on. I see what the problem is now.
Maybe one of us should leave, and then
That will be fine.
Can I?
What a relief. How's that sound?
Better.
Great.
Will video and audio when it goes up, or just?
Well, yeah, Jason,
just
like when
audio.
you're talking, normal. It seems like I think it's only when like somebody's just a little bit talking over you, you kind of blank out. I think.
I do.
No, I think Jason is. I'm hearing that.
Well, we'll just try to. I mean, usually that's the problem with these. You know,
assume
Should be fine.
it's inherent in the system.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
what are you gonna do?
Greetings, everyone. And welcome to a post. No, I don't want to say that. Hold on.
No. I know where you're going. Let's not time stamp this. Let's not nudge. Hey, go Nevada, or let's.
No, let's please.
We're still counting the topics.
Yes.
No, see, that's
No, not enough, guys. I can't take it anymore. Really. I just want to wait till it's over. Let's go.
oh wow,
Wow. Okay.
Sure,
Mr. Happy
right.
here.
Yeah.
I am.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh no, Sean drove Sean to drink.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And have yourself your own. Bleh.
I love having my own bleh.
Blah.
Happy Halloween.
I'm every commercial Dracula.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did that start by though? Where did the bleh,
Blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know.
But Bela Lugosi never did that.
He never did that.
He never
Do you think-
came close to sounding like that. Where did that come from?
Was it SCTV?
No, it was way
No,
before that.
it's got to be like the 50s or
Soupy
even.
Sales or
Ghoulies?
somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Groovy Ghoulies.
Yeah, like bleh, like, what is that from? That's so
Well, we all
weird.
know it, so.
I know it's weird.
Blah, blah.
You're right. There must have been some popular comic did it once and it stuck or something.
And then everybody
Yeah.
jumped on, yeah.
yeah,
You know what? I bet it was some really old comedian, like
Catskills
Henny
guy.
Youngman or somebody. Or like,
Right.
Yeah.
somebody.
Bobby Slayton.
Dan Murray. you
Bobby
know.
Slayton.
yeah,
Sean, have
Am
you
I-
done this?
Am I on camera still?
Man, I think, yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, you're not gonna see me the whole time though.
What is
Hold
your
on, wait. There's, what were you saying, Jason?
Oh no, I was asking. Do you see me this whole time when the show goes up?
No, there's
No,
nothing
we're not
visual.
gonna-
This is
we're only using
just
audio.
audio recording.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
shit.
you can remove your pants if you want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you
Yeah.
want. It's just audio recording. Yeah.
Pull a Giuliani.
All right. Here we
All
go.
right, go ahead. I have figured this out that anytime any of us speak while Jason is speaking, he will cut out.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
So-
I moved to a different room too because my internet was going out.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
I will make extra effort to not speak when Jason is speaking.
if you're gonna laugh, do that like
After.
is it the Hanna-Barbera dog? Yeah. What was his name?
Muttley.
Rocky Races.
Muttley, right.
Muttley.
I just like Matt's directive because, frankly, that's kind of how it should be all the time.
See, I like.
If I'm talking, no one should ever jump in when I'm talking in life. I just think it's a good mantra to have, always.
I like being with you in the same room. That's what I like. So when you're going on and we can, there's more, camaraderie and, hey,
I like
Joe, let's talk,
I like it when you're at fist length.
Okay, this is great. Shall we do another topic?
If there's anything I've missed during COVID, it's being a fist length away from Matt. That would be number one. And then maybe a good steak.